like, oh, fuck, gonna let her go, like, no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. This chick with her cute songs like, oh, now she wanna let me go, like, no, oh no, oh no, oh no. What the fuck, where these hoes at, where they come from, how she get that, she take her clothes off. Baby, fuck her brother, so fuck her switch. I like these posh fucks, where these hoes come from, fuck. Where they come from, where they come from. Baby, fuck her brother, so fuck her switch. I like these posh fucks, where these hoes come from. Whoa. I think she knows like, oh, fuck, I let her go, like, no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. This chick look, this sounds like, oh, now she wanna let me go, like, no, oh no, oh no, oh no, what the fuck?
Yo, what the fuck is good? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How are you all living, man? Oh my God, we are back at 8:30, 8:40 a.m. in the morning for Market Open Stream, man. It's been a while, dog. It has been a while. What is good? I don't even know if you guys recognize me. I came back from vacation. I got a nice little tan. I now have experience as a parasailer. I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Added a couple pounds to my bench press. I mean, man, got experience. Led the league at the beach in waves caught on the boogie board. I'm not even sure I'm recognizable right now, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Feels good. I'll tell you what. Feels good to be tan. If there's one thing I know in this world, and I don't know much, it feels good to be tan. Okay, it feels good to have beautiful, pure Italian skin and blood that gets tan. If you're wondering why the light is reflecting off my face a little bit weird, I got this big window in front of me, and it's got the sun hitting me all types of ways. But man, it is so good to be back. I missed you guys, man. What did y'all watch? What were y'all watching Market Open while I was gone getting a tan on the beach? What were y'all watching, man? What was everybody watching? I missed you guys. Easy, Rasmer God arc right now. Missed you too. Was anyone just watching reruns of my streams? A little bit of a mitt or nothing. Watch Rasmer, Mando and Ovi, Jack Duvall, really. A mitt or nothing. You so tan, you so tan, you so tan. Last week was boring. Turned off my screen for a week. You should grow a full beard. I have a full beard. What do you? Damn, you came in here hating today. Watch the Gwart and Chang interview. Wow, what a pull that was. That is a crazy pull. Welcome back. Watch OSF. Loaded Fish. First chatter, man. First stream back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, well, look. I was gone for a week. What did I do? Everybody wants to know, what was I doing while I was gone? Okay, I did a couple things. I did a whole lot of nothing. Family vacation. I was at the beach. I laid on the beach. I drank a bunch of wine. I cooked dinner. I hung out. I read a book. I read an entire book, almost front to back, by the way. Somebody from the chat recommended it. I read an entire book front to back. Liar's Poker. Has anyone ever heard of this? Has anyone heard of this book? I forget who recommended it. It was somebody from the chat told me to buy this book. It might have been Alex. I don't entirely know who it was. It's so good, dude. It is so good, this book. It's about Solomon Brothers and mortgage trading in the 80s. And man, I was born in the right era, but to be a mortgage trader in the 80s working at Solomon Brothers has gotta just be, I mean, that's so peak. That is, bro, it's so peak. The book was amazing. So that was awesome. I didn't trade at all during the week. I clicked 0 buttons. I only hold what I held when I left, which is a gargantuan amount of pump fun and FWA, which, man, I guess I should have bought 1% of that coin at 5 mil. It went to 5. Bro, I wasn't really paying attention while I was gone. And at one point I look at my phone. The first couple days I could not detach. Okay. I'm like dying. And also the first couple days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were like, I feel like they were electric. Like Rasmer wins World Series of Poker. Palantir's up 25% in a day. Like DRAM is ripping. I'm looking at my phone and I'm pulling hairs out. And then I stopped paying attention. And then one day I pick up my phone after like 24 hours and I'm like, let me just like look at Onchain, like what's going on. I pull up Deck Screener. I look at my FWA balance and I'm like, dude, it's 5 mil. 5 mil? What? 5? What happened? And then I open Twitter and for the first time in a day, and the first thing I see is a 35-minute Tulip King video talking about how FWA is the worst thing that's ever happened to crypto. And I was just like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. And then I get a text from Malcolm and he's like, what happened? And I wrote this sad ass reply back. Apparently I convinced him not to buy 1% at 5 mil. I wrote this miserable reply. I can actually read you what I wrote back to him, dude. I wrote back this super sad reply to Malcolm. Let me see. He goes, bro, we're so cooked on FWA, LMAO. I'm like, annoying because it was 40 mil and I really think that one should have played. Sad face. That was the message. None of us bought it. We're so back on that now. But I'll tell you what, the only thing I did for a week, and this might be a long stream, this might be a short stream, I don't really know. But the only thing I did for a week is I sat here and thought about crypto, thought about on-chain, thought about social trading, thought about traders and the new influencers. And I feel like a lot of our theses came true. That didn't come true, but started coming together over the last week while I wasn't streaming. Like a lot of the things that we talk about every day, correct me if I'm wrong, you paid more attention than me. I got some catching up to do. Hyper accelerated over the 1 week that I was gone. Hyper accelerated. And the other thing is we stopped paying attention to crypto at like the perfect time, pivoted to memory, took some money from the memory boys, and then at the perfect moment, started talking about on-chain again. For what 3-4 weeks ago, the only thing I've been talking about is like pump fun and on-chain and meme coins. And I'll tell you what, man, I feel pretty good about where we're at. I really do. I feel pretty good about where we're at. So I know everyone retired last week and only the poors are here, and I have to stream because I didn't retire last week. But man, there's no one fucking doing it like us. So all right, let's do a little roll call, bro. Let's do a little roll call. Alex, what's good? Vita, what's good? Blake, what's good? Liber, what's good? Eli's, what's good? Mac, what's good? George, Levi, Tom, Sparky, FRZ, Bell X, what's good? Rectal, what's good? Dude, there was a rectal glizzy mention at one of my family dinners. Lefty, what's up, homie? DMX, what's good? Finance, what's good? Lilo TV, what's good? Defluge, what's good? Alex, NGMI, what is good? Charlie, what is good? Kenyon, what's good? Zaru, what's good? Jay, what is good? Man, what the fuck is good? What the fuck is good? What the fuck is good? Satrina Analyst 3, what is good? What is good? YouTube gang, I missed you guys as well. Damn, they really pop out in the YouTube gang. Pipe Bomb 33. Bitcoin Bar. Dude, there was a rectal glizzy at one of our family dinners. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was a rectal pocket mention, but there was a reference made to rectal at a family dinner. It was insane. I think it was rectal pocket. Jay, I love you too, bro. Is what was mentioned. Okay, give me this. Before we get too far, it's gonna take me to get my bearings back. What was the reference? I don't know. Rectal pocket, like rectal. I don't know. Rectal pocket. Yeah, rectal. It was talked about for like 5 minutes. My mom can, you know what? It was on a beach walk. It was on a beach walk. Rectal was brought up, and I'm like, Rectal Glizzy mentioned. I was gonna say in the pit, but I was kind of like trying to take a break. All right, give me this to start. 10, 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10. How optimistic are you that crypto on chain is about to go on a run? 10 is like it's October 1st, 2024, and I just heard about Truth Terminal for the first time. And 1 is like it's January 19th, 2025, and Melania Coin just launched. Where are we? Wow, 8 to 9 from DNAP is nuts. 5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7 from MACD gods. We're early, late. No, we're definitely early, by the way. Okay, I'll get there in a second. 6 for sure. Advice for a teacher who is going all in on FOMO and GMG and basically burning the boats and trying to be you. Honestly, my advice would be keep the job for now. That would be my advice. Keep the job for now, straight up, and start making money. And when you flip your salary, you can quit. That's what I would say. When you flip your salary, you can quit. But until then, keep your job, honestly. Okay, vibes are reasonably high, which is good to see. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. Are you hiring, brother? We're always hiring. We're always hiring. I was gonna do all this intro shit and reference old stuff and Let's just get right into it and start talking about the market because that's all I really want to do. I mean, a week removed. I didn't click trade for a whole week. It's hard, man. I was staring at P&Ls, but I went a whole week without. Let me ask you one more question. Let me just do a couple polls. Last week that I was gone, are you up or down in your trading? Like where is the chat at? Are you up or down in trading over the last week, last 7 days? By the way, our last week of streaming when I left was a generational week of stream. Down. Luke is down. Luke, what are you down on? Lefty uppies. A lot of up. I'm up on clipping. Up on copper. Oh my god, the copper. Damn, we have so much. Dude, the copper trade. I didn't take it. Is J-Led here? Dude, I didn't take it even. You know I wanted to take that trade. I didn't even take it. Down on dog shit. Up on FWA. Onchain's been fun. There's good coins daily. ATH, I know. Copper actually did it, and I didn't trade it. Okay, cool. Mostly up. Pretty optimistic about crypto. One more poll is what is your favorite new asset that you hold? Like what have you bought over the last week that you have not mentioned in the stream? Missed you two's up. What is your favorite new asset? Like what does everybody like right now? Mars coin, Stonk, Google, Robinhood, NFTs, FWA and Cashcat. Cashcat is nuts. Mars coin's so free. Pipe Dog. Oh, AI on Robinhood. FWA and EUPHORIC. I remember when EUPHORIC launched. Cled got to wake up eventually. Cled is the ticker Bitcoin of Solana. I will not explain this any further. Jimothy. Delta Liquidity. I don't even know what that means. Pump AI. Okay. All right. I like where we're at. I want to start before market open. We have like 40 minutes. With the topic of are we back? Are we back? I know that I missed a pretty fun week. Like, okay, I missed a fun week. I definitely missed a fun week of Onchain. All things considered, though, I don't really think much has happened. Like, we haven't really broke the fabled 100 mil ceiling on anything except for Cashcat, which consider me shocked. Cashcat got a Robinhood listing. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised it happened. And I'm really surprised it's trading the way that it is. Like this, in my opinion, is a did I call it Cash Coin? I meant Cash Cat. This is a massive narrative violation that this is happening right now, that this is green the way that it is, because crypto Twitter was so euphoric to be able to post this candle and say, you guys are absolute idiots. Onchain is not back. People were so happy to tweet out this candle because, like, I was on Twitter. I wasn't tweeting, but I was paying attention. People were so happy to tweet this candle and say, you guys are idiots. Crypto is still dead. And so I spent a lot of time thinking about it while I was gone. Like, are we, because I wasn't trading, you kind of get like you get to step back a little bit and see where we are at and kind of like test your biases, rethink general thought processes and like how the is X not live? Are we live on Twitter? Let me check real quick. Hold on. Yeah, we are. Cool. You could I don't know, just like rethink, reevaluate where we're at. I saw this Ryan Watkins tweet. It's a really good one. He tweeted this morning. What's good, Whitey? Sometimes I don't know if we've all become nihilists or if hyper speculation is actually the most effective way to get millions of consumers to ditch the beige world of TradFi for the crypto frontier. I haven't read out loud in like a week. In any case, the data suggests we're going much higher over the coming quarters with retail-led activity across perps, memes, and other on-chain speculative games inflecting. As a wise man once said, degens are pioneers. And so there's kind of conflicting messaging, I think, of sentiment on where we're at as far as like being back. Is on-chain actually hot? Like, is it a bunch of bullshit? I saw like there's like 3 conflicting. So there's Ryan Watkins basically saying like yes. Jez made a tweet and basically said no. 4 traders left. A bunch of idiots who call launching a coin deving and people that own exchanges. Everybody else is dead. Rhino it's insanely dead. Jonah, it's dead. Everyone's like, it's dead. The KOLs are saying Onchain is alive. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. And I think that the take that I like love is that we don't actually need any reason to go up, by the way. And I was thinking about this because I read a lot. It's basically a complete barbell between euphoria on chain. Again, there's experimentation, there's things happening. And then what are you guys looking at? This shit is a ghost town. And I think people forget that after 1010, there was literally nothing. Like there was nothing in crypto. There was nothing after 1010. There was absolutely nothing. Like even after Melania coin, you still had moments. You had pockets of euphoria. Like you had the whole Believe ecosystem happened after Melania. Believe went to 350 mil. Nikita Beer was talking about crypto. Like there was pockets of insanely high ceilings. Crypto Traders HQ, what's good? There was stuff happening. There was excitement. There was optimism after 1010 or after Melania coin. There absolutely was. And then after 1010, like bro, there was a point where I was getting messages from good friends of mine trying to give me advice. Like I'll never forget, Hashkoff messaged me, friend of the stream, great friend of mine, messaged me and was like, after 1010, maybe in early November, and he was like, bro, I say this because I love you. You are gonna have to find something else to talk about that isn't crypto, because we're gonna be done for a while. You got to talk about something else that isn't crypto if you're gonna like stay mentally sane in the stream. I'm looking out for you. I'm saying this because I love you. Like, you got to find something else to talk about. Like, that was the discourse. Those were the messages I was getting. And it only got worse for like 5-6 straight months. And so I think there's a lot of people that, one, have completely written off crypto, but forget how bad it was and how much of a ghost town it was after 1010. And then I think there's this other camp, and I'm a victim of doing this historically as well, that is just like super over intellectualizes why we have to either go up or down. Why we have to go up or down. Like we have to go one more leg down because of reasons, right? Like because of this, because of Sailor, because of because of this, because of that, because of memory, because of ETF inflows, like whatever the reason is. And I think we forget when every cycle go like, I don't know, but within every cycle, it's like we don't actually need any reason to go up, by the way. Sometimes it just is time. I don't know. Sometimes the stars align. Sometimes it's like just time. And I'm definitely not, I don't know. I don't have like 1,000,000% confidence that we are or we aren't back. But I think I made it very clear where I stood as far as what I thought was going to happen when I started talking about meme coins like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I mean, if you remember, I came here one day, I woke up 5 weeks ago, and I was just obsessed with meme coins. Like all I could talk about was meme coins. Meme coins, meme coins, meme coins, meme coins, meme coins. And I made this tweet when I bought Pump. Let's like rehash a little bit. Let's like go back in time a little bit. I made this tweet July 16th. It's crazy how long ago this feels. That was like 3 weeks ago. And my whole take was that nobody, Luna, thanks for the gifted, was that nobody is pricing the outcome that meme coins are a foundational part of finance and never going away. Plus, Pump Fund has an unvampable moat. Hundreds of launchpads have tried and they all failed. It is not Rollbit pick below related. It was Dex volume. I mean, bro, if you watch stream every day, this is all I talked about for like 3 weeks. Every day I was tweeting a rant about why I thought memes were not going to go away. And so I was getting all these replies like, dude, you were one of the loudest voices calling crypto, and especially memes dead forever. Quite the 180. My response to him was like, bro, they're a horrific trade for the last 6 months while stocks went up only. Every name in every sector. That was the last 6 months. It's all we did was talk about stocks. Now there's a better trade on the table. I'm here to trade, not pledge loyalty to different markets. And so if you stamp this on the chart, not to be that guy, but let's just like be that guy for a second. If you stamp this on the chart, what's good, Darren Sharper? I missed you, bro. If you stamp this on the pump chart, which looks pretty nuts, there it is. It was 1,600. That's where I started buying pump. It's 1,600. And so we'll talk about this one a little bit more. But this was like around the moment where I'm just like looking at Onchain, 60, 70% since then. I'm looking at Onchain and I'm saying to myself, like, I don't know, something's happening, bro. Forget Bitcoin price, forget ETH price, forget, I don't know, just like forget it for a second. Forget the like bear hold narratives that like we must go down because of X, Y, and Z. And let's just like look at what's happening, right? You're like, we're fucking market commentators, we're traders. Let's look at what's happening and let's make an assessment. And the assessment was that pump numbers are disgusting and they're not going away. And you look at it now and it's like, bro, yesterday, Pump Fund bought back $847,000 worth of their token, bro. $847,000 worth of their token. Half of the revenue. The last time they bought back 847,000, would you be surprised if I told you it was, I don't even know when it was. When was it? When was it, bro? I mean, this is May. We're in May. Bro, we're in May. Look, the last time they bought at least $847,000 worth of their token was in April 22nd, 2026. And that was 100% of the revenue. So that actually doesn't even know. It would be 1.7. When's the last time they bought 1.7? Bro, I mean, this is like, this is real. I mean, this is real shit. Really. It was when? Bro, it was January 27th, 2026. January 27th, 2026 was the last time Pump Fund made as much money as they made yesterday. Think about what the world looked like January 27th, 2026. Think about what the world looked like January 27th, 2026. January 27th, 2026, I had
1,000 live viewers in my Twitch stream before the song was over. Think about that. January. I was thinking 2025. Yeah, 2026. Wow, my time is all off. I'm thinking 2025. That's Trump coin. Wow. But think about January 2026, bro. Oh my God, my brain is fried. It was Penguin. Yeah, it was Penguin coin. Pre-Strait of Hormuz, it was Penguin coin. Yeah, it was pre-war. Wow, I was thinking a year. Wow, that a lot of time has passed, huh? Since Trump. I was thinking that was Trump. Jesus. Jeez. Wow. I'm fried. Think about that though. It was Penguin coin. It was Penguin coin, bro. It's been a lot of time has passed. It's August. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I just moved I had just moved to New York. Yeah. A lot of time has passed. And so white whale as well. And so you just think about that. Look at those numbers alone and see nothing else. And you gotta at least put some validity, some capital, some thought behind the idea that we could be edging towards some level of excitement on chain. And so it brings me to my next point, which is one of the only things I could think about. Basically, the only thing I thought about while I was gone is social trading. Trading as new influencers, social trading, and it has been headlined by this, I don't know, this like war on mobile trading. You have Pump, you have FOMO, you have Phantom, you have maybe the trading bots a little bit. I would be shocked if Axiom didn't like make a run at it at least a little bit. Photon, I think, is sort of out. And then everybody else, I don't really see a world in where they can compete. But I mean, there was a war going on right now on chain. And what I think is the craziest is you look at these numbers, right? This is FOMO has 10x'd weekly traders in the last couple months. As a result, our entire focus is on improving performance, reliability, and supporting our growing social graph. Major updates in progress. All the feedback is helpful. Please keep it coming. So FOMO is 10x weekly traders in the last couple of months. Pump Fun is making more money than they've made in like a year and is going super hard as of, I don't know, the last week. As of the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, on bringing traders to their on-chain mobile app. And what you realize when using these things or looking at these things or seeing the growth trajectory of these apps is that, bro, they are really good. They are really good. And mobile trading, mobile wallets, Phantom, these things have gotten to a level of quality that just did not exist last cycle. Like the only comp last cycle really for like pure trading, in my opinion, is like a Moonshot, which I'm a seed investor of. And bro, it was not a pro tool. Like it just wasn't. I love Moonshot. Shout out to those guys. Moonshot guys are fucking amazing. And so I'm going to try to tie a couple narratives together. And like if we look at the mobile trading apps, and then we look at traders as the new celebrities, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. The deep irony in this whole thing is that it always gets crazy. It always gets crazier than you think. Every cycle gets crazier than you think. Like Top Shot and NFTs and DeFi Summer, which I missed, but I was here for NFTs, got so much crazier than even like, you know, Gary Vee. There's the famous phone call that Gary Vee makes. He tells everyone like to buy punks or whatever. He calls all the celebrities, buy punks. NFTs are going to go crazy. NFTs, I can only imagine, went bigger than his wildest dreams, probably 10x. Bored apes were $500,000 at the top a piece. Crazier than your wildest dreams. And then 2024 happens. and the pump fun meme coin AI coin cycle. And it gets so much crazier than your wildest dreams. It gets so much bigger. There's like a 1.4 trading bots making $1 million plus a day every single day. And it ends with Donald Trump launching a meme coin that goes to $70 billion. It gets so much crazier than your biggest dreams, like bigger than you could ever imagine. And so the real humor in this whole thing is that if this cycle were to happen the way that it could happen with cross-chain mobile trading, with just TikTok takeover of on-chain trading, not coming from CT, but like driven from TikTok, driven from Instagram, driven from YouTube. You have on-chain trading, like in theory, replacing what day trading should have been with the core sellers, what people thought day trading was, what people thought like Forex was. The actual humor is that this cycle would be it would be like the fabled cycle. It would be the golden cycle. If it were to happen, it would be the biggest cycle that's ever happened in crypto, right? It would be these mobile trading apps have 100 million users. That's what it would be. If it were to happen the way that it could happen with the technology that we have now, that to me, that's how it would play out. It plays out with 100 million users on it plays out with 100 million users on these mobile trading apps and some dating a Kardashian and some of our streamers being as big as, Kai Cenat. That's how it would play out. Genuinely, that's how it play out. Because you think about it, you look around and you're like, this isn't happening, it's just CT, it's just CT, it's just CT. But then you don't realize a lot of the volumes and a lot of the coverage, it's not happening on CT. And so you see all these, I don't know, like I found some humor in this. You see all these unks, these like, 2018, 2019 cycle crypto traders that all they had to do was turn their brain off and throw some darts at some random L1s, and it's like generational alt season. Every coin goes up. It's like, bro, nobody wants to say it, but the best traders, the legendary crypto traders they were trading against plumbers, bro. They were trading against alt season, fabled like alt season, bro, where every altcoin goes up 20x, and it just like has to happen this way. Bro, they were trading against plumbers. They were. And some of the best were the best, don't get me wrong, but alt season, man, it's like that is a concept of the past. It doesn't exist. 2017 ICOs, it's like, wake up, sent it at 60%, and he's drilling on your head top, and every new narrative is controlled by trends. It's like the game has evolved, okay? And the new game is not going to happen on Twitter. I really believe this. The new cycle, if it happens, and I think it's going to happen, I'm starting to believe it's going to happen, it's not going to happen on Twitter, okay? Gone are the days of you have influence just because you've been here for 10 years and you're like a funny poster. It's like, I mean, bro, I watched this was supposed to be a coherent rant that I was going to be able to tweet. There's no way I'm going to be able to tweet this, but bro, I watched the Flow Horse thing, okay? I held back my commentary on the Flow Horse, but it's like, look at me, I'm the Flow Horse. I'm a Chad because I'm Bitcoin Chad that's been here for 10 years. How do I use the blockchain? What does it mean? Like, everyone's telling me to burn my supply. What does that mean? It's like, do I airdrop? What does that mean? This is so new to me. It's like, bro, you've been here for 10 years. You've been here for 10 years. You've watched every meta that's ever happened, every cycle that's ever come through, every evolution of crypto. What have you guys been doing? And this is the crowd that loves to hate on the meme coin traders. But then you join a stream and you watch a scented stream. And forget what you think about him, forget how much supply. You watch him go with the wallet trackers and the Twitter monitors and buying the new narratives. It's the new Fortnite, bro. The game has evolved. It's the new Fortnite. And the bleeding edge of what's going to be happening on chain, I think, is extremely high skill. It is extremely high skill. And it is not going to be this like it's just not going to be the alt cycles of the past. 2024 was. Think about how mad everybody was about 2024 meme coin cycle. And everyone said it was stupid and it was dumb and da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da. In reality, it was just a new game. You had to evolve to the new game. And so a lot of ways, I think Banks said this. I think a new cycle, if it were to happen, is much more akin to like the new Fortnite than it is another alt season. It's like an entirely new thing, right? It's much more akin to like a new Fortnite. And you think about the Fortnite comp and all of these old like Call of Duty gamers, all these like old, all these unks. Fortnite comes out with building and everyone's like, dude, like everyone wants to play no build because the new game is like fast and it's quick and it doesn't make sense. And in a lot of ways, I think that idea of like introducing building to Call of Duty is kind of like what crypto is to TradFi. Okay. And I think the reason I'm really excited about crypto, especially over the last week when I wasn't paying attention, is I see like what's happening with Uniswap and I see what's happening with things like stockbrokers and pairing memes to stocks and FWA and these V4 hooks. And I see the innovation that's happening again. Even the DAT, fuck it. The worst thing that ever happened to crypto, the DAT. I see what's happening on chain, and it is abundantly clear to me after 1 week of being zen and meditating and thinking about it, that crypto and the arena that crypto is, it's just going to be the frontier for financial innovation. Okay? Any new primitive, new innovation, new trick, new skill, new tool, new concept, it's going to happen on chain first. Okay? It's going to happen on chain first. It just is. It's going to happen on chain first. And the same way it always happens, the rest of the world is gonna realize most of this sucks, but this like one thing is actually really cool. We're gonna take this. This one thing that you did or you created or you invented out of the 100 failed experiments, this thing is really cool. We're gonna take this thing and then fuck it. Robinhood's got a social feed. Or like, fuck it, Cloudflare has a card with state to transact in stable coins. Yeah, that thing's cool. Or like, fuck it, X company is going to do a DAT, or fuck it, X chain is going to issue tokenized stock. Like, whatever the new primitive is, it's just going to happen on chain first. Okay? And the reason it's going to continue to happen on chain first is because if you are Adam, founder of FWA, and you build some new thing that people haven't seen, you make $10 million in a month. And the reason you make $10 million in a month is because if you're lefty trading and you're some on-chain trader and you find a new narrative and you bink it, you make 7 figures and you get 100,000 followers on the new mobile trading app. You become a celebrity. And it's like this cycle of the traders become celebrities, the devs become rich, the traders continue to become celebrities because the devs keep launching cool things so they can make a ton of money. And because they are famous and have influence and make a ton of money, the devs can launch cool new things and make millions of dollars. And it just goes and it goes and it goes. And then eventually, out of the 100 failed experiments, one of them is really good. And the fucking NASDAQ is like, yeah, we're going to take that. The CME is like, we're buying Hyperliquid, right? Like, we take that. We're going to take perps and Robinhood's going to do perps now. We're going to take that. And so it's like you get to graduate. It's like, these things like feed each other. These things feed each other. And if there's one thing that crypto has established in the depths of being dead and over and hated and destroyed, is that new financial primitives start here first. New finance niche tool that makes no sense, but like maybe has a use case, it starts here first. That's just what it does. It starts here first. And the guys that can trade it well are going to be really rich. The devs that can build it are going to be really rich. Think about it, bro. Adam FWA builds this fucking like, he takes an existing mechanism, gotcha, applies some novel concept to it where like the spinners or the users can deposit into the pools, uses the worst asset of all time, NFTs, and then they've made like $10 million. Where else can you do that? You cannot exit an AI startup to Anthropic that fast for 10 million. It doesn't happen. It can only happen in crypto. And so why would it stop? If in the depths of the depths, when everyone says Onchain is dead, if you can make $10 million in a month for building some cool new dev tool, why would people stop building finance applications here? Why? They wouldn't. Why would they? They wouldn't. Why would they? And so this was one of my just real thoughts, is like, it's crypto's the arena. It's the bleeding edge arena for finance. And if this cycle were to play the way that it could, there's just deep irony in this idea that it would, I mean, it would be the golden cycle. Like it would be, when it felt like it could never happen again, it just would be the golden cycle. It would be 100 million users on these mobile trading apps. That's what it would be. 100 million users. And that would feel unlike anything we've ever seen. I mean, that's what it would be. 100 million users on these mobile trading apps. Which I'm not even sure I have the ability to conceptualize what exactly that would look like. But yeah, it would be completely nuts. I mean, it would be so nuts, it wouldn't even make sense. Because it's like, bro, imagine these tools existed during Trump coin. What's good, easy? Imagine these tools existed during Trump coin. How nuts this place would have been. It would have been a fucking... And so I look around in a lot of ways, and I think to myself, like, okay, if you were still in crypto, most people are like passive crypto participants. Most people are passive crypto participants even now. They hold Bitcoin, maybe they sold it, they hold some Solana, they hold Hyperliquid. But they're not actually actively trading on chain. I think because, I mean, on chain is kind of like a disaster. It's getting fun, but historically it's sort of been a disaster. And so I think that we sit in this very niche, unique pocket of understanding about the world. Because in 10 minutes, we're going to talk about Intel diluting in memory. And then I'm going to bring it back and talk about FWA stockbroker and like Robinhood chain. And then we're going to talk about Hyperliquid HIP3 volume. And so our stream is this very utopic pocket of understanding of markets, I think, where we play the full stack. And so we can really see the full stack. And so I would argue that most people that come on Twitter right now and say, you guys are idiots, nothing is back, they're not really trading on chain. Because I would argue if you are trading on chain and you have been trading on chain, it maybe doesn't you maybe don't see it in the charts yet with like, 250 million market cap coins, and Pump Fund isn't making $10 million a day. But if you are trading these coins and these assets, I think you can feel it. It's much more akin to a ball tingle than technical analysis. I think that you can kind of start to feel it. You can start to feel it. And so people will now come on. Like, here's what I'll say. People forget last cycle started with Unibot. It started with trading tooling innovation. That's how last cycle started, bro. Unibot hit the streets like crack. Unibot, BananaBot, Trojan, the Telegram trading bots is what started last cycle. Because I don't exactly know why, but I would imagine it's some understanding of like, there's this money. It theoretically would trade. It could trade. It should trade, but they don't really know how. And then we gave the entire world access to trade with your Telegram account. And everyone was like, oh. And then what happens next is all the money that could, should, and would trade takes over. And then you just start getting candled. Like, fuck you, candles. And then the devs innovate. Then we get the meme coin stuff. And then people forget this. People forget last cycle started with trading tooling innovation, not Hyperliquid, not some new like thing to trade, but it was a new way to trade the things. And then when you have a new way to trade the things, there's all this money waiting to get tapped. And then people figure out a way to tap the money. And then eventually you hit higher and higher and higher marginal traders. And then you get euphoric. It gets 10 times bigger than you could ever imagine. Then the cycle ends. BB, thanks for the 10 gifted. My guy, I missed you, bro. Owe you a phone call. Think about that. There's money to tap. People figure out a way to tap the money after. They build a tool, then they figure out how to tap it. This is the process. That money exists, and it's built up, and it's sitting there, and it's ready to go. People now have to build a way to tap it. And so, look, I'm not usually in, I say this a lot, I'm not in the game of predictions here. Because I don't really think I have to be, right? Like, you kind of only have to be in the game of predictions, hard predictions once. Be really right, make enough money, and now you can play. Now you can play. But you don't have to be in the game of predictions to come in early, late, see the trend, identify it, and then start playing, right? And that's kind of where I think that we are right now, is like, it's starting to like play. Maybe not. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but maybe I'm not. And I think the thing that I'm most excited about by far is this idea of traders becoming the new celebrities. That to me is the thesis that got the most validity over the last week while I was gone. I'm starting to watch. You're watching. Bro, my IRL homies are posting kimchi pictures in their Instagram dumps. Like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, think about it. Last cycle ended with Ansem and Kanye West hanging out, bro. Kanye West was tweeting Ansem's government name and saying, I want to meet with this guy. That was last cycle. And so if you use the same extrapolation method and you thought, okay, every cycle gets a couple X's crazier. What is a couple X's crazier than Ansem and Kanye West hanging? I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't even know. And then you pair that with how good AI has gotten from the perspective of, we need to figure out how to tap this money. You could build anything. Any dev can build anything. Did Adam hard code FWA? I would guess no. And you start thinking to yourself, I don't know. DeFi Renaissance? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But just ask yourself, what would 3x crazier than last cycle look like? It's probably me marrying Kardashian, bro. I don't know. Anyways, on that note, I'm going to do a complete 180. I'm going to switch it up. The stock market opens in 4 minutes. We're going to talk about some stocks. And then when we come back, I have a lot of crypto I want to keep talking about. So, yeah. Let's fucking do it. BB, thanks for all the gifteds. BRB, 30 seconds. Stock market open is coming. I'm 26-year-old. I drink, smoke, and vape. I'm unemployed. I don't have friends. I refuse to quit. I will win. Create your vision and work to achieve it. Let's go, man. Low-key, pick a struggle on the drink, smoke, and vape, but I'm with you, bro. Pick a struggle, but I'm fucking with you, G. BRB.
Bush.
go, man. Saying he's bagging a Kardashian may be overstepping. Bro, Ansem and Kanye were kicking it, bro. What's a level up from that? What's crazier than that, bro? Chat, be honest. Y'all think I could marry a Kardashian? Yes or no? Y'all think I got that in my bag? Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Yes, yes, absolutely, yes, hell yes, hell yes. Man, I love you guys, bro. I fucking love you guys, man. Yes, yes. I love you guys, man. Yes, of course, of course, of course. Of course, of course, of course. Yes, you could. Aim higher. I love you guys, man. All right. Let's go complete 180. Because we got to talk about stocks. Because in 19 seconds, the stock market opens. As always, stock market open is powered by Phantom. Because anything you see during this segment, whether it's stocks, crypto, whether you want to sell your stocks for stable coins, whether you want to buy a coin, alt, perps, whatever it is, if you can trade it, you can trade it with Phantom Wallet. And on that note, the stock market is officially open. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're talking about crypto after. We got stock market first. Rancorp, thanks for the raid. Let's go, let's go, let's fucking go. All right, we got a lot to catch up on. I got to catch up on the market, on stocks a little bit. SPY, and where's the SPX? SPX opens basically flat. That is down 0.05%. In yesterday's trading session, the Kospi was up 0.65%, pretty flat. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Qs as well are flat. The stocks is up 0.3. The IBB, where's Greg? Looks nuts. Look at this chart. This was a coin I really liked. Look at this fucking chart right now. Look at this thing. That is a disgusting chart. Also, if you're on YouTube or Twitter and you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. The IBB looks absolutely nuts. The triple leverage semi ETF is up 1.2% on the open. I'm gonna be honest, guys, these charts do not look good. The IGV is up about 1%. Mags are flat, and DRAM is down 2.5%. I think memory and semis look really uninspiring and weak. Maybe a bull case is that mags are fairly strong here. Like, look at the mags high time frame looks great. Amazon went crazy. Microsoft has been looking great. Meta even got a little bit of a bounce. Google, like, mags look great, but memory and semis, which is really where all the momentum was coming from, look like they're going to do a whole lot of nothing. And so on that note, what do you got? We'll get Intel in a second. Let's go Loki straight to Intel. Here's what I'll say about it is that it feels as if a lot of the speculative mania and volatility is going to be out of these charts for a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But it feels like after an event like what we had with Leopold, its volatility is sort of muted significantly on these charts. Again, I haven't been watching closely, maybe some of you. Volatility is muted, and that speculative fervor needs somewhere else to go. And so I'm not going to say crypto, but we'll see. Triple leverage stocks, yeah, it's basically flat. It's pretty weak on the open. Let me move this over. Also, YouTube, Twitter, if you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. All right, crypto 64.8 on BTC, and Sailor is drilling support. He just sold another $100 million. I think he has 3 years of DNAP. Send me that tweet about Korea. I missed that. I think he has 3 years of cash reserves for stretch. He's drilling support. Bitcoin won't go down. ETH is 1900. Hype is 55. Strong on the open. Lighter's 2.3. It's been very strong. Pump fun. We'll get there. Silver looks great. I would argue as well, another case for like volatility to return away from memory and semis and into other assets is like, look at silver and gold and copper metals performance. Look at this. We've kind of been waiting for this. But silver is breaking out of like I got a lot of charts to catch up on. Silver is breaking out of like a couple month of doing nothing, and gold as well looks strong. And then copper. I mean, I had this circle drawn months ago. Copper looks. Does anyone take this trade? You know, I love the copper trade. It's like a 200-day breakout, really. 200-day breakout, AI bottleneck. Like, I like the copper trade a lot. Drunk loves it well. I did not take it. Again, I really had a hard no trading rule while I was on vacation. But copper looks great as well. Zcash has been trading well, and then Uniswap I have on this list, but we'll come back to crypto a little bit. Oil is going up. Let's see. Let's check Brent. WTI is 80. What's Brent on here? 85. Not terrifying, but not great. Defense is all up, and let us get into mags, big AI, semis, memory. Rocket Lab leads. Wow, this is kind of an ugly day. Up 2%. Shaw's is 50. Fuck this coin. That's up 2%. Meta is up 1. Marvell is up 1.3. Microsoft is up 1. ASML is up 1. SanDisk is flat. Oracle is flat. Redwire Space down 1. Dell is up 0.26. The Dell, what did I miss on Dell, by the way? What happened to this? Look at this. This thing is since July. End of July, we're up like 27%, a new all-time high on Dell. That's a Trump stock. SpaceX missed this as well. Had a sick earnings. I wish we could hear Elon on the earnings call. They beat, double beat, triple beat, and it's 133, almost back to deal price. I think a reclaim of 135 definitively would be relatively significant on SpaceX. I don't know if I'm entering at any point, but feels it would be significant. Google back above the Berkshire price, 350, where they diluted $80 billion. BlackBerry's up 1, Broadcom's up 1, Tesla 328. What do we got? Amazon is red. How about that Chris Camillo trade, huh? Where's that? Let's see. How about that Chris Camillo trade, bro? Let's see. Is there anything short to talk about this? I'll find a clip.
I knew when I placed that trade that I was going to be disappointed in myself for not making that trade larger. I knew that that trade should have been triple. It should have been a $30 to $40 million day for me. I knew that. But with my account hemorrhaging, with all this stuff happening in my life, I was just like, I wasn't mentally prepared to make the trade. That was my fault. Like it should have been a $30 to $40 million.
Do you feel bad about not making $40 million?
I don't feel bad, but I do feel, I knew I was going to regret it. When I made the trade, I wasn't like, I'm going to regret making this trade because I might lose my money. It's like, I am going to regret not going big.
Crazy. What a fuck. He made $10 million in Amazon. Cerebras has been really strong. Well, I've really missed all of this. Let's see, high time frame Cerebras. That looks fucking amazing. Cerebras looks great. Up 2%. Nvidia's red. Cloudflare is red. Where's Intel? IBM, Micron is red, down 1%. Apple is down, look at the Apple high time frame. It's pretty kind of ugly. Kind of pretty cucked on this breakout, I would say. Apple's ugly. It's like inverse to everything else. Are we supposed to learn something right now? Bro, it's market open. Lock the fuck in. Okay, look at this. Intel is maybe the worst high time frame chart. So Intel's down 4 on news. This is ugly. Intel is down 4 on the announcement of dilution, bro. So they are going to offer 15 billion of common stock on Intel. Market hates it. Intel's down 4%. It's now under 100. It kind of looks like it wants to fill this gap. And so Intel's already gotten 30 billion in hard cash injections over the last 18 months and probably much more in soft favor plus ecosystem investment, and it hasn't produced a single thing yet. The economics are actually getting worse. At what point do we pull the plug here? So I think one of the scary things about the market is a lot of the darlings are pretty cocked right now. Intel is pretty cocked. Hynix is pretty cocked. Micron is pretty, like, all of the momentum rippers are fairly cocked at the moment. Where's Micron? We just passed it. Micron's 866. These charts just like don't. Yeah, I mean, they were kind of the darlings of this cycle, I think. Intel, Micron, SanDisk, IBM, kind of IBM. Where's Hynix, like, real chart? Hynix. Is it red? Here it is. Like, this is kind of crazy. Like, no real. Like, I kind of think if the momentum were to continue, you get the aggressive liquidation leverage bounce, and it's just like not coming for these memory names. Jucon, what do you got? TrendForce. iPhone 18 Pro cost expanded to surge by nearly 40%. Whoa. Wow. Memory price increases are expected to drive up the bill of materials for Apple's upcoming iPhone 18. TrendForce estimates the cost of the 256 gigabyte iPhone 18 Pro will be approximately 38% higher in Q3 than that of the comparable new model launched in the same period in 2025. Wow. 40% higher. What's the latest iPhone is what? 17? iPhone 17 Pro Max is $1,100. I mean, my honest take on this is that I would pay any price for an iPhone, just about. I would probably pay up to like $5K for an iPhone, and if it was $6K, I don't know, what would you do? I think you would like finance it. You would find a way to buy it. If iPhones were like car payments, you would find a way to you would just make a car payment. Like, you would just, I don't know. I think you would treat it like a car. If that's what it costed, you would treat it like a car. However, this is pretty brutal. Yeah, this is why they launched the rental Remember the rental program? This is why they launched a rental program. Apple rental program. Being addicted to a brand isn't a flex. No, I'm saying, like, if this is what a smartphone costed or cost, that's what you would pay. Remember they launched this like Apple upgrade. There you go. Everyone's gonna be leasing their phones. $20 a month for an iPhone. Yeah, you're just gonna pay that. You're just gonna pay that. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going on market open. Smartphone's more valuable than the car. TV, yeah, unless you have to get to work. Unless you have to commute to work. Crypto is weak on open. Weak on the open. Bitcoin 64.5, but we know until 10:30 nothing matters for crypto. PA majors are where? Yeah, look at that. It's ugly, dude. DRAM down 2. Semi triple leverage index down 2.5. Q's down 0.25 now. Nasdaq down 0.26. Weak. What's the rationale for crypto in 10:30? I don't know, by the way. I just know that it's always so fuckery, and I always like market open happens, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, Bitcoin's breaking out, and then it just gets like omega cucked every single time, like without fail. All right, where are we for SAS? Is SAS green? Let's see. IGV is green. Wow. All right, leader is Butterfly, the Midjourney chip maker. Roblox cocked but is up. Take-Two Interactive is knocking on the door of a new all-time high. Where's Wavy 80? That looks really good. Take-Two Interactive. Uber's up 4. Figma is up 4. Sweetgreen is up 1. IBKR is up 1.5. Airbnb, which had what happened to Airbnb the other day? You're up 20. Look at this. Look at this chart. Airbnb, I seem to have missed this, I suppose. Airbnb is nuts right now. It's 180. Highest it's been since February 2022 on Airbnb. Is crazy. Lily's up 1. StubHub is green. That should never have a green candle ever again for the end of time. Shopify is green. GameStop is green. On news that they're gonna back out of eBay, I think I saw. Nike red. What else? Robinhood is red. 92 on Robinhood. What does high time frame Robinhood look like? It looks pretty good. Decent level to bid maybe on Robinhood. What else? SoFi's red. Hims down 1. Coinbase is on support here, really. I don't know what else to say. Coinbase is on support. The 134. What's good, bro? Coinbase does not look great. Crypto stocks are in a weird place. Doubled with what is it? Clarity. It's just not passing, I guess. Like, fuck this, right? Look at this. Clarity is in trouble. This thing looks like it's someone knows this thing is not passing. What else? MSTR did make it back above 100, but it's now 98, down 2%. AMC 2.5. eBay's down 4%. I think on the GME news. Let me see. GME. Thank you, Malcolm. Here it is. Let me see. Cohen is considering proposing a partnership or joint venture that would enable eBay to leverage GameStop's roughly 1,600 U.S. retail locations. The people said, asking not to be identified because the matter is private. That could allow both increase in market share and high margin. Oh, this is not what I read. Yeah, GameStop's Ryan Cohen weighs pulling $56 billion eBay offer. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with this, but GME is up and eBay is down. Hans Games is crushed and Visa is flat. Stretch is where? This is crazy, by the way. Stretch is ready. I guess this was a good trade in hindsight. I guess it was. You got paid massively to take this. $71 to 96 right now, up 34% on that. Flood does have a good tweet on that. What is this? Martin Shkreli's hairline. Let me see Flood. Flood really on a sun run. I'm happy we got the Flood interview right before I left. Here it is. Thank you for your donations. Stretch. Stretch is basically a 4x levered S-Gov, except smart people scream at you all day and tell you they're gonna lose all your money for some reason. Let's chart this. God, he's just on a run, bro. Oh. Yeah. Nah. That isn't a crazy no. 97 on that. 97. There's nothing super like fancy about that actually. All right, as we check in here, yeah, weakness everywhere. Weakness everywhere across stocks, and crypto is sort of hanging out, maybe ready to get, I don't know. I'm going to talk more about crypto. But all right, you know what I want to know? We're 17 minutes into open. You know we cover it for about 30. And you know that I know everything that everyone here is in, but a week has passed. Positioning changes, bias evolves, and what I want to know is, what are you buying? What are you selling? What do you like? What do you hate? What would you like to enter? What would you like to exit? What have you sold? What have you bought? XPL longs? Dude, come on. Starting to stack BTC. Long memory, short space. Buy SMCI. Long take 2. Gold. Do you see Matt Kalish on FOMO? I did see that. I like to enter profit. Me too. Google. Interesting. Holding Mars coin, holding counterparty equity. Counterparty equity got to be getting marked up right now. Bought KTOS as a play on drone proliferation. What is that? That's a new ticker. I think hype is undervalued. I would agree with you. KTOS. Kratos Defense and Security Solutions, Inc. Interesting. Interesting. What is this? $11 billion. What is Kratos? Kratos drones.
The Kratos XQ-58A Valkyrie represents a bold shift in aerial warfare, a high-performance unmanned aircraft designed to operate alongside piloted fighters at a fraction of the cost. Developed by Kratos in partnership with the Air Force Research Laboratory, the Valkyrie was built for rapid production and deployment. Unique in its
That thing is fucking massive. I think it's huge.
launch and recovery, the aircraft uses rocket-assisted takeoff from a trailer and lands via parachute and airbags, eliminating the need for runways. Equipped with an internal weapons bay, it
Shahed rapper.
demonstrated strike capability in later test flights. The Valkyrie on display flew the first test missions, marking a significant milestone in the evolution of autonomous air power.
Dude, what the fuck? Kratos drone. That thing is massive. Wait, let's watch it real quick.
Kratos Defense and Security Solutions, Inc. is a technology-focused company delivering products.
Not gonna work. Wow. Here.
The United States is one of the world's major producers of military technology, and they have every reason to be. With the growth in weaponry development by
It's kind of niche, I guess. YouTube doesn't have much coverage on it. This is crazy, by the way. I do want to watch this. Palmer Lucky says in 10 years we'll have robots on the front lines for $5,000 to $6,000 each. I wish we could get in the Anduril IPO, bro.
It's a very practical future in that I think people understand there's a lot of jobs that in wartime are suicidal. And if we can replace those jobs with a robot that costs $5,000 or $6,000 rather than a human life, I can't imagine a world where we don't make that decision. It's not like this isn't 10 years out. There are robots that exist today that are fully capable of operating legacy weapon systems. I've actually advocated this for a while. I want to have robot operators who can operate legacy surface air missile launchers, legacy radar systems, everything that would be the first target that China or Russia would go after in a war, we should be manning with robots, not people. Because again, these are suicide jobs. The guy who is sitting in a surface air missile launcher truck with a bunch of Chinese jets flying at him, he doesn't have to wonder if he's gonna die. His only question is when.
Whoa. Man, that... What's good, Kevin?
Does that science exist?
Absolutely. It's not even that hard. Here's the good news. A lot of these systems were designed to be pretty easy to operate. You know, you start up the generator, you plug in the cables, you push the buttons. The work that we've done making these systems easy for a soldier, even a conscripted soldier, to operate is actually now going to come back around and help us in making it easy for robots to operate them.
They don't have to worry if they're going to die. They only have to worry when is terrifying, man. Oh, man. Jeez. Those things are set up for high school dropouts to run. Fuck me. Ooh, Bitcoin getting destroyed on the open. This again, I don't know, maybe till 10:30 we don't care. But Bitcoin getting fucked on open. I mean, look, pump not moving. Sailor sold again. I mean, let's just take a look. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. What's at 10:30? I just stopped doing market open. So Michael Saylor's strategy. First of all, they posted this. This is the worst.
The market is...
They do this every earnings call. This is the worst.
Good evening, shareholders. The market is pricing fear. I'm pricing Bitcoin. The quarter was rough, but the SaaS per share rose. They saw us selling. Everybody froze. 32 coins just...
My God.
To test the machine. 0.004%, barely seen. Then we bought 48 times more than we sold, but Bears read one headline and hit caps lock bold. Own the most capital, issue the strongest credit, create the best equity.
I didn't see this while I was gone, dude.
Rinse and repeat it. Bitcoin is the winner. The credit turbine spins. They say the quarter's over. I say the century begins. Own the most capital. Increase the sats per share. You saw us sell some Bitcoin? We bought 48 times more.
I would sue if my face was on this. Do you think they have a right to sue for like AI defamation? Like Matt Hogan, really, man? If I was Bitwise, I would be sending a lawsuit.
This year. SRC at 89.50. Everybody asks, Michael, can you bring this thing to par fast? We've got the cash, we've got the Bitcoin stack, and nearly 1 billion left in the buyback. Not too slowly, not too quick. Calibrate the market, make the credit stick. Sure, $1 billion. Go ahead, be my guest. Pay 12% a year to help us build the best. Maybe the best way to buy the most Bitcoin is not to buy the most Bitcoin. I'm gonna sell one, and then I'm gonna buy 10. You want us to sell none, and somehow buy 11, with money conjured by a genie underneath the desk. We don't quite have that. We have digital credit instead. Own the most capital, issue the strongest credit, create the best equity, rinse and repeat it. We want the world's largest company. That's the company ambition. Not the most employees, not the most products, the highest valuation. Own the most capital.
Wow. That was one of the worst things I've ever watched in my entire life, actually. Wow. That was one of the worst things I've ever watched in my entire life. Actually. I don't even really know what. Yeah, yeah. What? I mean, maybe this is why the market's happy he's selling, huh? I guess it is going down now, but that wasn't really what I was trying to watch. I was, yeah. I don't even know what to say. I was trying to get to the number of, I don't even know what to say, of how much dividends they have. Here you go. Anyways, now that is over, he sold 100 million today/yesterday. It's funny, they're just as bad at executing sells as they are executing buys. But they sold another 100 million on top of the like 250 million they sold. I was on streams, I think a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. And so remember, Michael Saylor and Strategy owes $1.7 billion of cash to stretch holders every year in perpetuity, basically, unless they buy it all back. Mando, what's good? We just watched the worst video of all time. That was so bad. I cannot believe what we just watched. He owes 1.7 million or billion, excuse me, 1.7 billion in cash to stretch holders, basically in perpetuity. And they're now up to 650. No, they increased it by 650 million. They're up to like, yeah, 4.65 billion in USD reserve. So they have like 2 years and some change of coverage, which the market has definitely taken a chill pill on the whole Sailor blowing up thing as a result. Stretch is at 95. And I think people feel decent about his ability to pay dividends, at least in the long, like 1 year of coverage isn't enough, low key, because everyone front runs it, right? Like, if you think they only have like a year to pay, then you're selling at like 4 months left, but then everyone's front running the 4 months left sell. And so you're selling actually with like 6 months left. Like, and everyone front runs the front run of the front run. A year is not enough. And so I think that the Sailor blow up worry. I mean, man, it's funny. Like, it wasn't that long ago, a couple weeks, a month, maybe 2 months ago, that the consensus was that Sailor was going to blow up right now. And you cannot fight it. You cannot deny it. There's no possible good outcome. And if you remember, we actually had Mando come on and explain the dynamics of stretch strategy, how it works, and the idea that like this doesn't have to happen, and if it does happen, it's going to take like a very long time for this to unravel. This is not some like snap call, it's done type of situation. So I want to play this one Sailor AI clip because it's so classic. He's still going around telling people this, and then we are going to talk about crypto again because I actually have a lot to say on the back half of this stretch Sailor situation. He just wanted this pod and ripped this clip.
$15 billion last. I used AI to make $15 billion last year.
This is not a good clip, by the way.
Is that a true story?
This is true. And the AI wouldn't have told you to do this. So let's go back to me in 2025. We have a company that has billions of dollars of Bitcoin. We want to actually raise capital to buy more Bitcoin. We maxed out the equity markets, the convertible bond market.
You borrowed as much money as you could from traditional means.
Yes, it wasn't scalable. So we needed to invent a new type of credit instrument to borrow money to buy more Bitcoin. And we used AI to design a convertible preferred stock called STRK. When we asked the lawyers and the bankers, they're like, well, no one's ever done it before and people don't do that. So we don't think you should do that. And we're like, well, everything else that people have done, we've maxed out. And so we're kind of at the point.
It's just like keeps getting worse.
Point where our growth is going to stop unless we find a way out of the box. So we're going to have to do something no one's ever done before. So we built it. I never would have been able to figure it out. And the AI gave us a solution to the problem that no one had ever encountered before in the history of the world. So I wouldn't have created the instrument without the AI. I created it. We did the IPO. It was about a $500 million IPO. We raised the money. 2 months later, we came back and we did it again, and we created an instrument called STRF. That we had to solve another set of problems. We used the AI to do it, and that became an $800 million thing. And then we came back with STRD, and that became a $1 billion thing. Is it illegal? No. Why has no one ever done it? No one ever had a reason to do it. They never thought to do it. The lawyers, the bankers.
Do you think nobody thought to do it, or everybody that thought decided $1.7 billion in cash in perpetuity in dividends to shareholders until the end of time is probably not a great liability to take on?
The conventional investors are like, well, we've never seen it done before. We're not sure you can do it. We go to the AI. We said, well, can we do it? They're like, of course you can do it. Just do this, this, and this, and this. And well, they said they don't like that. Well, just do this, this, this.
Which AI?
Chat GPT.
This is like when you tell GPT, like, you want to like commit a crime. You tell GPT you want to commit some crazy crime. And you ask it, like, am I crazy or am I wrong? And it's like, no, you're not wrong. You're an innovator. They just don't understand you. You tell GPT you want to, like, kill somebody, and it's like, no, you're not wrong for thinking that. Like, they're getting what they deserve. Yeah, you are, no, you are absolutely right, it says.
Well, they said they don't like that. Well, just do this, this, this.
Which AI?
Chat GPT. OpenAI.
So ChatGPT made you $15 billion?
Yeah, because the short of it.
Look at the hosted clip for me, by the way. That is such a host clip for him.
GPT. OpenAI.
So ChatGPT made you $15 billion?
Yeah, because the short of it is we basically sold $15 billion of credit, which kind of equates to the company making about $15 billion. And they were all designed with artificial intelligence. But my point here is I had to know to ask. I knew what I was looking for. I had.
Oh, so yeah, selling debt is revenue to Live King.
a particular thing I wanted. Once I narrowed it down in this dialogue with the lawyers and the bankers and the investors, I was able to use the AI in order to get to a solution.
So that is where we unfortunately are at with Michael Saylor, the intro of the stream, and Bitcoin. Yeah, this is the greatest idea anybody in the history of the world has ever had, and I came up to it. I came up with it. That's where we're at with Michael Saylor and Bitcoin, and that's why I'm gonna come to my new take. Not my new take, but my take is that this is gonna be the first bull run. If it happens, what's good? Totally amazing. This is gonna be the first bull run in the history of crypto where Bitcoin flat out just does not participate at all. This is going to be the first bull run where Bitcoin has no role, no say, no participation. It will be minimal at best. It will be minimal at best. Okay? It will be Bitcoin to 75K, Bitcoin to 80K, Bitcoin to 85K, and there will be fucking mania on chain. Okay? Because think about this. Think about this. Think about this, my friends. Think about this. My entire thesis right now is rooted in this idea that the next cycle is going to come from this new blood new blood of buyers and participants getting access to on-chain through quality of apps and cross-chain, social mobile trading, whatever, that did not previously exist. And developers getting new blood to innovate in DeFi or whatever it may be on-chain, especially with how good AI has gotten. This new crowd that comes in doesn't even know what Bitcoin is. Bro, they don't. Like, anyone that joined crypto that wanted to be a day trader or whatever, that joined crypto because they saw like Kimchi Clip or because they saw Scented or they saw Orangey or they saw Rasmer, they don't even know what Bitcoin is. And in a lot of ways, Bitcoin has been separated from broader crypto for like years. It's been Bitcoin and then everything else. It just has been. It's been Bitcoin and everything else, because when you talk about everything else, you can't talk about Bitcoin. You can't. Like, when you talk about the fuckery, it always went the other way, right? You can't have it both ways. It always went the other way, right? It was always this like on-chain, crypto is a disaster. And it's like, no. On-chain's a disaster. Bitcoin is fine, right? It's like, look at what Trump did to crypto. It's like, no. Or look what Trump did to Bitcoin. It's like, no, look what Trump did to crypto. Bitcoin is fine. You separate it. And you took you removed the bad, you kept the good. Like, no, Bitcoin's fine. But it works the other way. You remove the bad and you keep the good, right? And if there is this pocket, I really feel this is going to happen. I'm going to tell you why right now. If there is this pocket of excitement and new blood and fresh ideas in crypto, it will have nothing to do with Bitcoin. The same way Bitcoin had nothing to do with the like slugfest disaster that on-chain became in 2025. You cannot have it both ways. You can't get it both ways. You can't get it both ways. It's been separated for years. The only time it was really the last time crypto and Bitcoin were like synonymous was when Bitcoin was the only entry into crypto and like on-chain didn't really exist. And you came into crypto and then you came into Bitcoin and like, oh, this ETH ICO thing. It's like 2017. Low-key 2021, the two things were very separate. They were very separate. NFTs and Bitcoin had nothing to do with each other. And there was a long, think about it. There's been two like test pumps on this. Okay, there was like this Bitcoin topped in 2022, and then NFTs go nuts. NFTs go nuts after Bitcoin is topped. And the NFT crowd doesn't care about Bitcoin at all, right? They didn't pay attention to it. They weren't buying it. ETH was their Bitcoin. That ETH, it was stacking ETH, not stacking Bitcoin. For the first time, you're like stacking some new asset, right? The NFT crowd didn't care at all about Bitcoin. That was your first test pump. Your second test pump was a little bit more egregious and in your face, which was that the bull run happens in 24. And yes, Bitcoin goes from like, 20K to like 120. But Solana goes from $8 to 270. And then the meme coin mania happens. And the on-chain kids that pull up they pay zero attention, even to ETH, right? So it was like stack Bitcoin, then it was like stack ETH. And then the new crowd was like, no, stack Solana. That was the meta 24. It was like stack Bitcoin 2017, and then it was like stack ETH 2021. 2024, it was stack Solana. It was print money on chain, stack Solana, or even crazier, it was like stack SPX 6900. It went like one step removed. Stack SPX. And so every like incremental cycle, I think, has like separated further and further from, Bitcoin versus the rest. Now it's like stack hype. It's been stack hype was the trade after stack Solana. It was like stack hype, right? It was stack hype. And so in a lot of ways, like the thing that has me the most, and I know I'm spending a lot of time, I've been gone. We got to catch up. I know I'm spending a lot of time talking about this stuff, but I've been gone. In a lot of ways, my thesis or my just like animal spirits for what would bring back mania here is this. It's a Mando tweet, wrecked Mando. It's a Mando tweet that I'm going to pull for you right now. Is really, really, really good one. And it's kind of been the idea that I've built my like entire career on, but it's starting to play out. And it is wait, let me find it real quick. Hold on. EB, thanks for the gifted. Thank you for the gift. This is the tweet. So simple, 4 lines, 5 lines. Crypto is becoming the arena again. The tech means that every asset is coming on chain. We have perps, options, prediction markets, memes, NFTs as products. Platforms that make your P&L public. Suddenly, this is the place to make a name for yourself. And so any new person that shows up into crypto, in my opinion, is trader, not Bitcoin maxi. It's trader first. These are traders. They're not Bitcoin maxis. So the sailor thing means nothing to them. Like what, one of the takes I think is funny is, there's a little bit of this there's this on-chain pocket building itself. And all of the unks are doing this like, no, pump the brakes. We are not back because Bitcoin is going to leg down again. Pump the brakes. We are not back. We are not back because Bitcoin is going to leg down again. And I'm looking around and I'm like, so? Like, okay, so what if Bitcoin legs down again? Because, I mean, so what if Bitcoin legs down again? I mean, look at these Bitcoin, like, look at these charts versus Bitcoin. Look at Hyperliquid, Hype, BTC, high time frame. Coop, thanks for the gifted. Look at this chart. This is Hype BTC. Like, everyone's like, no. We cannot be back because Onchain can't be back because Bitcoin's gonna leg down again. And I'm like, okay, and then what? What's good, Ansem? It's like, okay, so what? Bitcoin legs down again. Okay, do you think that Onchain right now is correlated to Bitcoin price? Where is that the case? Here's hype BTC. Looks like this. Nuts. It decoupled like, I mean, it really decoupled in January, but it decoupled in April 25. Okay, that's hype BTC. And then you have like, I don't know, I don't even know what this looks like. Pump BTC. Looks like this. Bottomed in like June, really kind of bottomed in December 25. Looks like this. I don't know. Lighter BTC. Bottomed in May. Looks like this. What about Sol probably doesn't look great. What about Zcash BTC? Zcash BTC. Look at this. I mean, this thing bottomed in like March. Could argue earlier March. And so I ask, like, Bitcoin's gonna leg. No, crypto. Onchain cannot be back because Bitcoin is gonna leg down again. I don't think it fucking matters at all. I don't think it matters at all. I think if you get a nuke and we go to 50K and we sweep new lows, coins are gonna get hurt. Obviously, of course, it's a rite of passage. Coins are gonna get hurt. If we go to, we go to 50K, fine. It's gonna be a bad week. Coins are gonna get hurt. But like, are the guys that are building Uniswap V4 hooks give a fuck about what Bitcoin price is? They don't even know. These people don't even know. You go on Twitch right now. You look at scented viewers, and these people don't even know. And so, man, I just think like these, for the first time, it really happened in 2021. It really happened in 2021. It was no longer about stacking Bitcoin. It was about buying NFTs and stacking ETH. 2024, it was buying memes and stacking Sol. And in 2026, it feels like it's going to be just like trading on chain, stacking cash. Is that bad for crypto? I don't know. That's what it is, low key, stacking cash. These trading apps denominate themselves in cash. It's stacking cash or it's stacking pump. Low key, that might be a crazy take. It's low key stacking pump. And so I just think, I read these tweets. Again, I was gone for a week and I was kind of took a step back. And whether we're back or not, it's a different discussion of when we are back, it is going to be completely isolated from Bitcoin PA. It doesn't matter. Sailor, and even given that, even though I don't think it matters, I think it would help. I don't think it hurts on the way down much. I think it helps on the way up. It could help significantly on the way up. And you have Sailor just drilling support. Nothing's really happening. I mean, it's it doesn't look great, but nothing's really happening on the Bitcoin side here. And then you get ETF inflows for the first time in a while. Plus 170 million, plus 211, plus 250, plus 130, plus 101. You're starting to get outperformance on, or not outperformance, but some strength, some buy pressure on ETFs. And so, TG, if you make a bag on shitcoins, are you not shooting any into Bitcoin at all? Look, I like Bitcoin. I like the asset. I'm a fan of BTC. At some point, I don't own any right now. I sold it all. I was a maxi at one point. I fucking kind of capitulated. I would be down to buy some Bitcoin at some point in the future, but I'm worried about Onchain right now. It's cool. It's just slow. I think the narrative is a mega cucked right now. I think you see like what we just watched, that Sailor video, and you think to yourself, like, this is kind of a disaster. And man, I think that I don't think that that's a bad thing. Really. I don't think that that's a bad thing either, that Bitcoin is kind of cooked right now. I think for the crypto industry to mature, to get to where like I think it can get to, and I think it should get to, you need other things to have staying power. Multi-cycle staying power, a unique buyer base. And that kind of brings me to a thing that I talk about every day, but I haven't been here in a while, which is pump fund. Okay. Also, but hearing this time is different for 10 years. Yeah, but think about it. If you've been here for 10 years, think about how much mania you've gotten to experience. I think this too, people underestimate how much opportunity has existed in crypto. Think about how much people underestimate how much opportunity has existed in crypto. You've been here for 10 years since 2016. You saw it all. I know it ends in ruin, but it always ends in ruin, bro. SK Hynix is on 50%. It always ends in ruin. It always ends in ruin. But just because it ends bad doesn't mean you don't get euphoria on the way up. And so it brings me to Pump Fun, which is my biggest bag right now. I covered this at the beginning, but I'll just go back to when I started talking about Pump like pretty seriously. It was a quote tweet on Ansem actually. July 16th is where hashtag ad in the title. Fuck you. July 16th. I mean, bro, hashtag ad in the title. I put this shit on the timeline pretty loud. Pretty fucking loud, man. Pretty loud when I started buying this thing. Pretty loud. Pretty loud about this. I really was. If you're a real OG stream viewer, I was doing this pretty loud. July 16th. No one's praising the outcome that meme coins are a foundational part of finance and never going away. Plus, Pump has an unvampable moat. Hundreds of launchpads have tried and they all failed. It is not Rollbit. Pick below related. And the reason I started getting like autistically obsessed with memes in Onchain again was Ansem and Cash Cat breaking the 100 mil ceiling in the same like week. And I thought to myself, oh my God, how is this possible that this is still actually, how is this possible that this is trading like this, that there's this much demand to buy memes after all that, bro, after all that, two of them. And so I tweeted this July 16. I marked it. Here it is. It was like at it's plus 70, 70% ago. At like 1600 maybe. And let me click on this and be careful. NFTs were ahead of their time. I agree, by the way. NFTs were ahead of their time. And so it's been a pretty good trade so far. But I actually think my target on Pump is really disgusting because it's sort of the bow on the top to tie everything I talked about today as to why you could be bullish on an on-chain cycle together. Because if you believe the traders influencer thing, social trading thing, getting really big. Actually, I didn't even finish my topic on that, but the social trading thing, public P&Ls getting really, really, really big. If you think Kimchi is sort of like a test pump to how big these people can get, if you believe that if this next bull happened the way that previous ones did, there would be, I don't know, 100 million users combined between all of these mobile trading apps. Like if you believe these things to be true and that, I don't know, AI ushers in on-chain innovation, crypto is the arena for speculative, for financial, whatever it is. You believe these things to be true, there's no way to get long really other than Pump. You could buy Uni, but the Uni metrics are horrific. They're so I was long Uni for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, get me out of this. There's nothing to buy. There's a singular coin to, even if you were like, I want to get super long FOMO. It's like this Pump is like the only thing you can buy at the moment. It's almost shocking to me that there is not more launchpad competition after all of this time. But this is the only way to get long on-chain mania, really. Sol as well, but I don't know. Pump is like leverage Sol. And so Ansem tweets, going to this trade thread with Pump this cycle bottom to top. First tweet at like 1675. We'll update it 2544. He took the trade too. He was so loud about it. Answer's been tweeting this is the freest trade of the cycle, like loud. And all the way back to all-time highs and beyond. Simple thesis. Top 3 moneymaker in crypto, $2 billion in cash, trades at a 2.8x PE at $1 billion circulating market cap because of the bias against tokenization, while benefiting the most from increased on-chain activity with tailwinds of mobile app going viral. If coins launch on platforms like Ansem and others lead to upcoming cycles returns for retail. By the way, Ansem being a Sol coin with pump swap. Am I just like fried? was one of the reasons I was like, okay, I can buy this. Like, thank God there's at least one good coin. Thank God there's at least one good coin on there. And so he has this thread. I have a couple tweets about Pump. Let me see what I have. So it's basically okay. So you basically get Pump Fund is the most revenue it's done since January 2026, which is nuts. At the same time, you have these mobile social trading apps going parabolic. At the same time, you have Pump making a massive push to get to win, to get traders on their platform. At the same time, you have the CEO, who I didn't even know was the CEO, going on podcasts. At the same time, you have things like Stockbroker, you have FWA, and you have people trying shit on chain again. At the same time, you have Sailor drilling charts, Bitcoin not going down. At the same time, you have ETF inflows starting to pop. And at the same time, you have memory momentum trades starting to get really stalled out. And so again, I'm here to trade, not predict the future. And I could flip on a dime and get bearish, but my Hyperliquid wallet is public. I am really long Pump. I am really long Pump, and I'm long as fuck FWA. That wallet isn't public because it's EVM. But I want to watch a couple clips. I didn't actually watch this pod. There was a Rand Neuter podcast. I want to watch a couple clips of the CEO of Pump and just see. And then we got to talk about Leopold Asherbetter and whatnot. But let's keep going, crypto, having fun. We had a lot to catch up on, man.
Focus has very much always been on product for the Pump Foundation, right? It's like, how do we make it the best possible product, which gets like way more users, which gets way more traction, way more attention. And the thought process being here that if we focus on the product, the token price was kind of irrelevant, because what makes the token price go up over a prolonged period of time? It's
blowing the nose is crazy.
Increased revenue in buybacks, right? That's what helps and sort of more people sort of buying into the sort of belief of the business, right? That's the truth. And all this stuff about like marketing the token and doing along this line, it's very inorganic, and it might help you get like a short-term sort of exit liquidity and sort of creating like a pump or whatever. But that's not how you build a long-term sustainable business, which is supposed to be around for the next 20 years, right? That's not how you do it. And it's not like a wise decision as well. So I think, yeah, I do agree. We took the feedback to heart, because I think a lot of people were complaining about our sort of communication style, which we obviously sort of saw and are now actively trying to improve. Hence why I'm on podcasts like this one and sort of posting a weekly update, which everyone here will be able to see on my Twitter. But it's also like one thing I want to know, which is quite important as well, from this sort of low on the chart, if you will, the revenue of the Pump platform and the Pump Foundation has also increased by like 50 or 60%, right? So it's like, was it actually the revenue which increased it, or was it the communication which increased it, or was it a combination of both, right? That's always what you have to ask yourselves. But for us, like, obviously the price of the token stuff is important, and I want to stress this, like, very, very obviously very, very important. But the truth is, like, not how do you go from like a $2 billion valuation to a $3 billion valuation, but how do you go from a $2 billion valuation to a $100 billion valuation?
It's kind of a mid clip. What else? This I want to watch. We won't watch the whole thing, but I'm curious about this too. I want to move on from Pump in a minute, but I'll put it 1.5.
Any way that you can get from 2 billion to 100 billion is to create a network. In other words, something that has real network effects, where every additional user adds value to the network exponentially, right? When I look at a meme coin launchpad, and I know that that's stripping it down to its like barest bones. There's no network effects in a launchpad.
Disagree. Nonsense. Not true. Absolutely.
Okay,
not true.
tell me why.
So because why did you buy Bitcoin?
Because of the network effects.
No. Why? If you go back to the most rudimentary form, why did you or anyone else buy Bitcoin?
Okay, going back to its rudimentary form, because it was a limited supply asset.
Yeah, but who told you that?
People, community.
People
that I trust. Yeah.
People online, or your friends in person. Yes. Every coin you bought, you always buy it because you're.
Pump Fund's bigger than Bitcoin is a nuts narrative, man. I don't hate that.
But tells you to buy, right?
Yes.
The truth is, it doesn't matter what Bitcoin stands for, how decentralized it is. The only reason you bought it is because someone else told you to buy it. That's the network effects of any coin. And that's the reason why crypto exists as a whole, is because the whole thing is like, oh my.
Pump Fund bigger than Bitcoin is the Nera, bro.
My Hyperliquid bags. Oh, my Cardano bags. Like, buy my coin. Then you get other people to buy your coins. What the meme coin launchpad is, it's not a meme coin launchpad, it's a coin launchpad, and it allows anyone to have that same experience of launching their own Bitcoin and then telling their buddies to buy in, and then them buying in. But the difference is, I go to my buddies now and tell them to buy Bitcoin, it's not going to move the price of Bitcoin. But if I go tell them to buy into my coin,
I don't know if I like this. Everyone can launch their own Bitcoin.
on Pump Fun or anyone's coin Pump Fun, realistically, it's going to move the market. And what does that mean? It's like that is literally network effects because you make money the more people
This is the Pump Fun CEO.
invest. And it's very unlike Perps because Perps does not benefit with each additional user on the platform. Neither does prediction markets. When prediction, sorry, I'm being called. I need to hang up here. There's no incentive for you to
They're calling him and they're like, bro, chill.
there's absolutely
They're like,
no incentive for you to tell people that you've opened a trade on Polymarket, because if you tell people and people believe your trade, the money you make actually goes down, right? Like it's literally negative EV to tell people about it. The same with perps. Why are you telling people about your perp position? It's just not plus EV. Those products don't have network effects. The meme coin launchpad itself, because you're directly incentivized to scream from the top of the biggest roof possible that you've bought this coin because everyone else will buy into it. So I strongly disagree when the products have network effects. And then
I think you agree. I think that the thing that has a network effect is the social network around the meme, the coin launchpad, right? So
for sure,
and that's really what I picked.
Yeah,
that's what I picked up in the app. Like the app for me is the ultimate social experience because people just telling you, I bought this, I took a punt on this. They were using cool. I called the shit at 3K. What is this call out runner? Damn, she's so hot. I'm going to take the. Like that's what's going on in the app here, and I think that's a network effect.
I agree with you, but 100%. But even without that, just like look at Twitter, right? What is the network effect? Oh,
dude, the nose thing, man.
Like you tweet about buying this coin, that's a network effect itself. Like it doesn't have to be the sort of social layer around.
No, this is not a lawn.
And that's obviously the value you can build on top of it, which provides additional value to everyone involved. But there's also just the rudimentary thing, I bought a coin, and the most natural thing is you obviously tell your buddies you also want to buy the coin, just like any other coin. Like it's bullish, buy the coin, buy the coin.
Yeah, this is like a fever dream interview, but we watched that last clip I want to watch is investors not selling Pump.
When 25% of the team and investors tokens unlocked and people are essentially allowed to sell. I mean, again, all this data is verifiable on chain and is on the sort of official Pump Fund Twitter and such and so forth. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think, I think most people, I think over 90% of investors didn't sell their tokens, and a lot of them are still holding till this day. And again, I think a lot of the team is also still holding their tokens.
I think that was the unlocks. I think you're right. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was the unlocks. One of the interesting things is that no one sold. Like you had these massive unlocks and no one sold. And I think the question is like, what did you guys do? What vision did you sell to keep people in? Because these are young. I'm assuming that a lot of these people are young people. Probably never had access to this much liquidity before in their lives. All of a sudden they got their first real token unlock, and no one's selling. Right? I mean, I had a spreadsheet of the addresses, and you can literally see that no one has been selling. Yeah, I mean, you can. I've got spreadsheets of wallets, and we've been tracking the wallets, and no one's been selling. And I'm like, what did you guys do? Like, I heard like. I mean, was it selling them a vision? Was it an arrangement that they're not allowed to sell? Kind of keen to like, how did you get people not to sell?
So are you referring to the investors here or the team members of the
team? The unlock. The unlock was mainly team members, right?
Well, no, it's investors as well, right? So I think 13% of the supply belongs to investors and 25% of that unlocks to investors. But mostly internally, the team. I mean, again, I think there's the outside perception, which sort of the Baton has, and there's Baton and / Pump Fund Foundation, and then there's sort of the internal perception. And I think internally, we built like one of the best teams in crypto. Everyone's sort of hyper motivated, sees the vision, and actually sees this sort of industry as what it is, and not what the sort of quote unquote old people think it is, right? I think like a lot of people outside the sort of people working in the sort of meme space think it's just like the next NFT is just going to go to zero. They don't see the sort of they don't see the thing, and the biggest thing here is that every single young person in crypto and just in generally is trading memes or is on prediction markets. That's the truth. Like it's a young man's game. Everyone from the age of like 18 to 24, that's the majority of the users. So I think a lot of people at sort of Baton who sort of got compensated in pump tokens.
Am I really the peak, like the top bracket age of? Am I 24, bro? Am I Unk? Am I the back age of this? Seriously?
Saw the fact that like, oh, hang on a second, this is like, this is actually quite important, and this is like,
fuck, man, my birthday is kind of soon.
Not important, but this is like, this has way more upside than what it's sort of currently valued at. And hey, I want to build a company which has like a generational impact. It isn't just like sort of gonna sit around and then just like go to.
You look 30. Is that a compliment?
Go to zero next cycle or whatever. So yeah, it's about building a team which really believes in the product, and then one which is sort of smart enough to identify what the future of a company like this can look like as well.
I'm like the Warren Buffett of crypto. The money part, not the like look part. Anyways, the last thing I'll say about why I think Pump Fun is interesting, and I'm going to stop talking about Pump Fun because I've talked a lot about Pump Fun, is that from what I've gathered, no serious fund, liquid fund, correct me if I'm wrong, liquid fund, crypto fund, any of these big institutional buyers, none of them take pump seriously. Like zero. There are zero funds that take pump fun seriously. There are none of them. Okay. And so basically what that means is that this price action is completely driven by, I don't know, CT, meme coin traders. Okay. And so it leads me to this thought that Tulip King just tweeted. I'll read it. Is that theoretically, there are infinite marginal buyers the higher this thing goes. Because you got to imagine, like, if you're a liquid crypto fund, which again, there aren't that many of them, but there's a lot of family offices, there's a lot of funds that have crypto exposure. You don't have to be exclusively crypto. There's basically been one thing to buy, maybe two, maybe three. Zcash, VVV, but really hype. And if you're like a liquid fund and you didn't buy Hyperliquid, it's like you low-key should shut down. Like you should return all capital to LPs. If you're a fund, if you're a crypto liquid fund and you didn't buy Hyperliquid, you're supposed to like return your funds to investors. There's no other, I mean, you have to. You got to return the funds. Because if you didn't buy Hyperliquid, like you're what did you buy? I mean, you lost infinite money. And if you did buy a lot of Hyperliquid, then you're Ryan Watkins and you're the GOAT. There's no real in between. Like maybe if you went all in Zcash and VVV, like you get to keep the money, but they're not think about it. If you LP to crypto liquid fund because you don't want to invest in, you don't want to pick and choose winners, and you trust this other guy to do it, and you see Hyperliquid and you ask them like, hey, do you have Hyperliquid? And they're like, no. It's like, what the fuck have you been doing? What do you mean you don't have Hyperliquid? You're a liquid fund. I invest. What do you mean you don't have Hyperliquid? You're like a disgrace. I think in a lot of ways, as it relates to like pump, if the cycle plays the way that I think it would look if it were to play, which is that there's this just like proliferation of like TJR kind of like giga celebrities that are all new to crypto and they're all trading on chain and they're using these apps and they're getting hundreds of thousands of followers. And a lot of this money is just like ripping through pump, and pump is ripping and getting taken seriously. And it gets, revenue goes up, revenue goes up high, up a lot, whatever. And the multiple also expands. And pump is like one of, maybe it's the soul of last cycle. There's going to be a lot of these LPs like, what do you mean you don't have pump? How do you not have pump? It's like, are you not on TikTok? You absolute idiot. Are you not on TikTok? Like, do you not see these? Do you not see what's happening? What do you mean you don't have pump? And so, like, Hyperliquid goes to 70 billion or whatever FTV, but like huge institutional bid. Every fund, every big player, every big money guy is just like whopping hype, and then the holders don't want to sell. Pump has none of that. It has none of that. And so I think again, it's brings me to this interesting tweet actually that I like, which is like buy the cool new thing. This is the take. And then I'm gonna get off pump. When crypto was still viewed as an acceptable place to take extreme risk for extreme gains, and CT had much more external penetration, coins were able to flourish and spread on their own merit and reach extremely silly valuations. The farthest reach of the most influential CT person is now much smaller, and the galaxy of people operating in the space is also much smaller. The coin matters not simply who's buying it. The reason for buying a coin now exists inside of a vacuum, an echo chamber, and to break containment is now a Herculean feat. It takes a genuinely new paradigm or new idea or massive improvement of an existing workflow to reach such heights. Simple metrics are no longer enough. You should strive to own tokens that have a reason to exist. These are the reason that I like the coins that I like. It's the reason I like Zcash. It's the reason I like VVV. It's the reason everybody likes hype. It's the reason I like pump. Strive to own coins that have a reason to exist. I think it's like an incredible line. And I want to just do one TikTok scroll because I haven't really done this in a while.
My coworkers keep saying I need to make it like a tech.
I can't believe this is still the thing. But Oh, this just dropped. He retweeted Tulip King. Pop up a newsletter. Let's see. Feels the bonding curve. 10 million for the week, up 12% week over week. Yeah, there's not much we need to add here, but I am curious about this.
This is what life is like after.
It's January, February, March, April, May, June, July. July 30th, Kimchi clip. 215,000 likes on TikTok.
Stabling at 295.
Who's crying?
215,000 likes.
Everything he'd spent
10,000 likes.
You're an emperor.
104 days ago. 125,000 likes.
Is it enough yet? Is your ambition finally satisfied?
Now do you believe me that traders are the new celebrities? Bro, I've been tweeting. Man, I've been tweeting this. Since when? I was calling it content creation a little bit more than I was calling it trading. Content creation is a sport, and bro was an ancient Roman gladiator in the Colosseum, 2024. 2024, bro. How about time? My time has never been more divided. Look at this. My time, October 2024. My time has never been more divided. Half is deep in the trenches, going to war every day, real gladiator shit. The other half is a complete la la land, trying to ignore the power shift that's happening on the front lines. Let me see celebrity. Try celebrity. Let's see. Your favorite crypto influencer is richer and more powerful than your favorite celebrity. This is 2024. Look at this. 2024. Kind of crazy a C-tier crypto influencer can post a wallet and raise more money than almost every living celebrity on earth. We're living through the greatest wealth and influence redistribution ever. 2024, bro. Retweet that shit. Real classic shit. Real classic shit, bro. 125,000 likes, Kimchi.
Sayonara.
1 day ago. 155,000 likes. Bro, it's like the biggest thing on TikTok.
I'm down.
4 days ago. 266,000 likes.
600K.
Wait, you just tweeted it. You just tweeted it.
What?
This fool shows up 30.
Bro, the last time I saw Kimchi.
Santa Cruz 1 week ago. 15,000 likes. 6,000.
You don't got
20,000 likes.
What's like the biggest change?
I just went to the bathroom, came back. I was having dinner with Kimchi. No one here.
350,000 likes.
Bills completely paid. I don't know what's going on right now. His Maybach's not even outside anymore. He hops in the back, no driver. I think genuinely it might be a Waymo. I don't know what to do right now.
Bro.
She's standing.
Now we're a little bit deep.
Do you guys know who Kimichi is? किनभने के भयो भन्दाखेरि हैन लास्ट
5,000 likes.
टाइम है 2 दिन अगाडि we were having a dinner के with my friend हैन अनि हाम्रो बिल चाहिँ यस्तै कति 15,000 कति आथ्यो के येनमा है 15,000 कति आथ्यो अनि त्यसपछि we were just sitting there अनि त्यसपछि this guy हैन Kimichi भन्ने नामको हैन guy he comes in a Maybach है in a fucking Maybach around कति हो $400,000 कतिको गाडी है त्यो he comes in a Maybach and त्यसपछि he comes inside and he said he's gonna pay for my bills and I was like
5,000 likes. Look at this. Look at this.
Before my
Do you know who this is?
surgery, I had dinner with Kimchi and he put up in a Maybach.
25,000 likes.
And the windows were tinted and the Maybach was bouncing. And he came to dinner and all he got was a glass of tap water.
And then I went to the bathroom and I came back and he was gone and the check was paid for and I had apple pie waiting for me at the table.
Bro.
This is gonna be
150,000 likes. 5,000
I invited
likes.
him out to lunch.
It's like the most viral thing I've ever seen, bro. Kimchi low-key bigger than 6'7", dog. It's nuts. It's actually nuts. Look at this Mando tweet. That was crazy what I just said. No, not kimchi coin. Stop.
Invest in Paul coin, okay? I told all my friends and my roommates to invest in it a few days ago and they didn't listen to me. And today, lo and behold, it's up 260%. It was I have my dream Chanel bag. I honestly bought into the Kate hype after the first rug pull, but I'm kind of scared that it's gonna be another one.
LARPing.
I've been telling you guys, buy Paul Etition coin. I'll put the ticker over here. Buy it now, otherwise I will say I told you so. Oh my god, I am so sorry to the Kate.
Look. I'm not saying any of this is good. I'm not saying... I'm honestly... I don't have opinions on any of this. I'm more or less just watching this unfold, and it has some juice behind it, man. That's all I'm saying. It has juice behind it. It has juice behind it. The kimchi story is like... The kimchi story is like, I don't even know what to say. It's like the fabled dream for like a normie that's never traded. It's like the type of story that you just, I don't know. It's like an urban, he's become like an urban legend, bro. Kimchi's become an urban legend. So I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to read this one tweet from Akshay from Solana, and then we're going to get back to stocks. Because I think it's a really good tweet. And it sort of like puts some sophistication behind the whole theme here. In the next few years, individual investors will outperform Wall Street. It like unretardifies the TikTok. The best individual investors have the same conviction as active managers and none of the shackles. With streaming and social clout, it compounds. The best pickers can now attract flows directly. There's a paper that proves the mechanism. These guys took every U.S. active fund, 1983 to 2018, and they asked, forget the whole portfolio. How do managers' highest conviction picks actually perform? Their findings summarized by Claude. 1. Managers' best ideas beat the market by 2.8 to 4.5% a year, and it's permanent. No reversal even a decade later. These stocks were genuinely underpriced. 2. Everything else in the portfolio adds nothing. The average fund holds 160 stocks. All holdings. The all holdings portfolio earns 6 bips of alpha. Statistically 0. 6 bips, like 0.06%, bro. It's nothing. 3. Alpha declines from idea 1 to 10. Only the top 5 matter. The other 155 positions are filler. Okay. So stock picking skill is still a thing. So why do funds lose to the index? Because the wrapper forces managers to bury their 5 good ideas under 155 mediocre ones. Fees are on AUM, assets under management. Diversify to scale, capture your own alpha is fees. Manager wins, client pays alpha fees for closet beta. 2, career risk. One concentrated bad year gets you fired. Nobody gets fired for humping the index. 3, Morningstar and Sharpe ratios are punish concentration. Flows chase stars. Stars require blandness until Ansem, threadguy, etc. take over. Oh, I didn't even know I was mentioned in this. Whoa! What? I guess I never really read it. Morningstar and Sharpe ratios punish concentration. Flows chase stars. Stars require blandness until Ansem, threadguy, etc. take over. Lawyers. Rule street conviction is liability, and then the kicker: size kills alpha. Best ideas of small hedge funds beat those of $10 billion giants by 15% a year. The individual investor has the smallest AUM of all. Here's how to win based on this paper. Adam, what's good, bro? Here, I'll link it. Here's how to win based on this paper. 1. Concentrate. Your top 5 ideas, size like you mean it. 8 stocks capture 80% of all diversification benefit anyways. 2. Buy cheap beta for the rest. Diversification costs nothing thanks to Vanguard. Alpha costs everything. Never pay active fees for filler. 3. Go where the funds can't. Illiquid, small, or weird. That's where the best ideas outperform most. On-chain. 4. Do the work. The catch of that conviction without research is just gambling. These managers earned their alpha. They just weren't allowed to act on it. You have to be both the analyst and the allocator. 5. Build distribution. The fund's moat was never stock picking. It was gathering assets. Streaming and social, flip that. Audience is the new AUM. Tools to responsibly monetize that will emerge. Wall Street can't hold its own best ideas, but you can, and that's the edge. This is basically the summarized thesis of the social trading, institutional investor, like rise of the active trader, rise of the influencer trader, like the whole sort of retardation I just went through as it related to why I'm excited about Onchain is really it's this. It's really this. The rise of Chris Camillo's. Exactly, bro. How about this guy? How about this guy? You don't believe me? How about this guy? The strict cope guy. Think about how big this guy has gotten from 0 followers to like 6,500. Everyone, chat, do you know who this is? Everyone knows who this is. It's the guy who had $27 million. What's good? See? What's up, my boy? This is the guy that had $27 million in a portfolio that's now worth 3. Everyone recognizes this PFP, bro. We cover him every single day. He comes out and he has an opinion on the market. I'm reading it. Like this, to me, this guy is like the thesis. Now, if it was 3 to 27 and he posted it on the way up, it might have hit a little bit harder than 27 to 3. But regardless, I got a feeling a lot of Twitter posters will transition to becoming titans of finance in the coming years. I don't even know how to say his name. Strict Rope. Could be like a Gen Z Chris Hahn. Strict Rope. I actually don't really know who Chris Hahn is. British hedge fund manager. Net worth. 11.8 billion. Not bad. Moggs, Jamie Dimon. So basically the entirety of what I thought about while I was gone and why I was excited about crypto and why I think we could have another euphoria on chain is basically this tweet right here. That's all I could think about. It feels as if this idea I've been playing with and throwing around and talking about for like multiple years and actively doing as well. Is starting to come true. It's starting to, I mean, even look at like the rise of Erasmer. Look at the rise of Erasmer. And then how much time Rasmer has put in streaming, tweeting, existing. And then when he binks a $250,000 trade on Mars coin, how fast it goes parabolic. Think about that. Like, think about the vibe shift on Rasmer publicly happens after he binked a $250,000 trade. It's just like, it's vertical, bro. It is absolutely vertical. It's vertical. And so I don't know. That's just like a lot of what I was thinking about while I was gone is this and only this. And I think it's going to lead to some mania, potentially lead to some mania in crypto. So those are those are like my complete and utter thoughts. All right, let's bang through a few topics. One, we're still at war, which is crazy to me, with Iran. Tom Brady XBT, nice. I don't even know like what the latest update is here. Trump has privately admitted defeat and told senior aides he is willing to end the Iran war without a nuclear deal if Iran fully reopens the Strait of Hormuz. A retreat from his initial unconditional surrender. Trump has been laying the groundwork to declare victory based solely on Hormuz reopening, walking away from his initial promises to decimate Iran's nuclear program. However, Iran has raised its price for reopening the strait in the form of new demands, effectively turning what Trump hoped would be his exit into a full U.S. surrender document. Those demands include $300 billion in compensation, the release of up to $100 billion in frozen assets, lifting all sanctions, U.S. troop withdrawal from the entire region, and an end to the naval blockade, and accepting transit fees on every ship. U.S. officials say Trump is desperately searching for an exit, with the only viable option being the Strait of Hormuz. Iran, however, has made even that impossible unless Trump surrenders to all of the demands. I think my stance really on this whole thing is that no matter how this ends, the market has sort of decided it doesn't really care. It hasn't. We've been saying this for a while, but the market has kind of just decided it doesn't really care. And even if the US were to like wobble out of this with their tail between the legs, it is not really much of a concern to me that the market is like going to get destroyed. It's just not. It's not. I don't know. I'm not like really paying that much. I don't think it makes sense to pay that much attention to it unless you get some level of like oil, real ripping of oil, and then you like, oh, okay. It's crazy to me it's still going on. I think it's wildly impressive he's been able to suppress oil at the level that he has. There's a poly market on this of I don't even know like where we're at on this. 2-week pause. I don't even like know where I don't even know where we're at anymore. It's just so wildly impressive what they've been able to do to the oil market. That's really all I can say. Don't forget you had the oil trade. I took it too, and they shook everyone by waiting a week. I know. I'm just done. That was like my last dip. I felt like it was a beautiful trade idea. I really did. And it went nuts, but it's not worth it to trade that thing. It's just not. It's really not. It was a fun trade idea though. I must admit. It was a fun trade idea. It was a really fun trade idea, but it didn't do anything. You know what else I think is interesting is like I feel like there wasn't that much commentary on Leopold Aschenbrenner after last week. I mean, that was like one of my favorite streams ever. It was a Leopold stream. And the follow-up of this has been kind of weird. Like, there has not, let's check it on the market. There has not been this V-shape recovery for anything. Semi's down 5% today. 3x leverage. DRAM is under 50. Volatility is pretty muted on memories and semis. Mags are flat. Everything's kind of muted right now. There was not this V-shape, and then there wasn't this like crazy Leopold fallout at all. He got married, and everything's kind of just, I don't know. I might have missed some stuff, but there's a couple markets for him. Not a lot of volume. They announced fund wind down 5% by December. Leopold gets charged in 2026. No way. And there just really wasn't that much. There was a couple all in. What's good? Realize. What's good? Privacy. Look at Tau. Look at Tau. Look at Tau. Fine. Is it going up? Dude. There was an all in where they talked about it. I actually am going to watch this podcast maybe today. I didn't get to watch it. Where they talk about Leopold. Let's see.
I look at the market, the consolidation we saw in the month of July, You know, we put in the Leopold bottom, hopefully in July. That, you know, a lot of semi stocks were down.
This poor guy,
you know, 30, 40,
bottom.
Hey, listen, the guy's doing great. He's apparently still up 80% for the year. Just made another big private investment. I think he's done an extraordinarily good job building a firm in a short period of time. But the market did panic around that.
Yeah.
As he had to cover. I think all of that is really good. So as I look ahead, marching to these IPOs later in the year, on the back of the SpaceX IPO, I think we're in really good shape, you know, particularly if these revenues continue apace. And so I look at the market, the consolidation we saw in the month of July.
That's one. And then two is this.
Got blown out, okay? One of the reasons why Leopold got blown out, okay? I mean, it is because he bet on the SaaS apocalypse. Remember, it wasn't just that.
I think he just bet on it a little bit late, maybe.
He was super long these chip stocks that had.
Because his 13F is going to be electric, by the way.
A correction.
Oh, is that right? He was short.
He was short Adobe and
was he like really short this stuff though? I don't know.
A whole bunch of other SaaS companies, and those trades also moved the wrong way on him. So again, I just think that it's painting with too broad a brush to say that all of SaaS is going to get obliterated here.
Yeah.
And there was a really good post about this. Let me just quote from this where they said, nobody buys Microsoft because Microsoft writes the best code. They buy Microsoft because Microsoft is the rail that everything else runs on. Active Directory is where your employee identities live. Excel is where your board decks numbers come from. Teams is where the compliance recorded conversation happens. Azure holds a FedRAMP high authorization and Department of Defense impact level 5 clearance, which means a defense contract.
Wasn't there a guy on stream who was long Adobe, or I'm tripping? I think it's just Michael Burry.
Contractor cannot casually swap it out for something cheaper, and so on down the line. So there's a lot of really good compliance reasons why, if you're a large enterprise, you're not going to want to spend tens of millions of dollars ripping out something that costs you $1 million a year. That just doesn't make sense. And I noticed that Benioff just tweeted 5 minutes ago that 15 out of 15 cabinet agencies run on Salesforce. Look, the government is not going to rip and replace Salesforce with something vibe coded. So look, not all SaaS is equal in this dimension.
So yeah, that was the last thing. And there basically hasn't been much follow-up on Leopold. I mean, like, okay, if we used our crypto brain and thought about how this usually plays out, like if you thought about after 1010, like if that was the bottom kind of thing, you get this like aggressive, maybe we can go like higher time frame. You get this like aggressive dumping, and then kind of just like nothing, right? Like think about what happens to crypto. And again, memory is different because maybe, I don't know, AI bottleneck has a reason to exist. Crypto doesn't, whatever your take is on it. But I think usually when you get this like aggressive deleveraging for sellers, you're kind of met with nothing rather than being met with V recovery. The V recovery is like, not something I think you see very much. We saw it on, I think you see it when it's like a okay, let me think about this. Like the time you saw you see it for fear, exactly, like April, like Liberation Day or Carg Island, like war march, right? And you have this I think you have this like fear capitulation where everyone's selling in a panic is different than like forced selling. Like you're like getting margin called, because then you realize it was an overreaction and you just buy it back, versus you are margin called and you have no money. And then everything kind of like slows down. You get the V, you get the V, I think, when it's like people are scared of like an external event. Liberation Day, everyone's like, fuck this, I'm out. And then you realize, oh wait, we super overreacted. Let's buy it back higher and let's buy back more. Versus 1010, everyone got liquidated and you're done. Like there's no more playing. You're done. You're super done. More coverage on super intelligence, please. Okay, I have a couple Chinese AI clips if you want to watch them all in too. I don't feel like that much has happened the week that I was gone. on superintelligence. Maybe you think that I'm wrong about that, but I think it's sort of the same discussion about Chinese AI. Let's watch a couple. We'll watch a couple clips. Sachs and a Gerstner clip just to be caught up. Google scientist left. Oh, facts. Jeff Dean. Did you talk about Zuck new essay? No, I haven't. There's two. We're gonna have to split these up, by the way. DeepMind drop. Maybe tomorrow we'll do Zuck and DeepMind. We gotta split this up a little bit. How to get the crypto stuff out of the way, because that was the most exciting by far.
Decide what our objective is here. Are we trying to just get in like a full-blown economic war with China? Are we just trying to prevent all of our companies from doing business over there? If that's our objective, then you can take that position. Historically, the rules have been that you want to be careful about technology transfer of technology that has a dual use, right? That it has a military application. My sense of data is that it's largely a commodity. I mean, data labeling certainly is. If you basically tell them that they can't use data labeling, I guarantee you there's no shortage of labor in China that they can use to do the data labeling. In fact, they probably are. What I'm saying is there's a lot of ways to get this data. So look, if we basically ban these companies from selling to China, we should expect reciprocal actions taken by China to ban companies over there selling to us, maybe rare earths. These two countries are not completely independent of each other. By the way, I want us to be as independent and sovereign as possible. I don't want to have any dependencies.
No dependencies.
But we still, at this moment in time, do have some dependencies. So I think you have to ask the question, is this data really proproprietary? Does it have a dual use?
Yeah, it's not
Does it have a military
labeling.
application?
Yeah, I don't think it has military. It's definitely not data labeling. This is like hiring PhDs, hiring super professionals to, create unique data sets. So it's science.
Look, China can do that too, and I guarantee you they are. I don't think this is going to give us a decisive advantage in the AI race. It's going to annoy. It's going to create annoyance. It's going to create friction. And how bad do you want our relationship with them to be? Do you want to risk starting another trade war? Look, I'm not against restrictions when I think they're going to hack a punch. For example, I'm really glad that the first Trump administration limited the export of EUV lithography machines to.
I don't know what that means. Let's watch one more. See if it's good.
As we sit here today, the U.S. is winning. We talked about it at the start. Our frontier labs are winning. Our open source is winning. And we have fairly
I like Brad Gerstner.
Limited regulations, right? She's coming here in September in a bilateral meeting to meet with the president. We're advancing relations on a variety of fronts. So I think everything looks good and you want to continue down that path. With that said, I will tell you that this will irritate people in Washington.
Did he say open source is winning? Did he just make that up? Investor in OpenAI and Anthropic, by the way.
Who feel that this, along with distillation and other things, could be the export of chips, all of which at a certain level makes sense, cause people to wonder whether or not we're making it too easy on the Chinese labs to catch up with American labs, in the race to frontier intelligence. So, it's the type of story, Jason, that I think will continue to muddy the waters, that will continue to be monitored. The reason I don't think it will cause us to change our stance with respect to China is because we're winning. But if the president asks his advisors, one of these days, 6 months down the line, are we winning against China? And all of a sudden he gets a
little bit of cope going on here, no?
Response, no, we're no longer winning. They caught up, they passed us, etc. Then these things will get a lot more scrutiny than they're getting today. I think the only reason they passed muster today is because we're still leading the race.
Yeah, I don't know. That felt relatively copy to me. I'm going to be honest. That felt relatively copy to me. So, all right. What do you have, D-Knob? One more. Oh, this is crazy.
In
Narrative
robotics,
violation.
China is clearly in the lead. In terms of, for example, in robotics, China is clearly in the lead. In terms of humanoid robotics, flying robots that most people would call drones, China is, they're making
flying robots.
Them cheaper, they're making them better, they're making them at much more massive scale than anyone is doing in the United States or anywhere else in the West.
How on earth do we compete with that? China's huge. What's going to win out in any conflict between the West and China? Is it boots on the ground, which China will always win, or is it advanced technology?
It's advanced technology, but the reason that China is doing so well with advanced technology isn't just that they have a lot of people. It's that they've made a series of decisions that make high-tech companies much faster, much more effective. They have, for example, very low cost of energy. You can complain about all of their coal plants, but the net output of that is that they have a very, very low cost of energy. So you have low cost of energy, you have really, really favorable labor environment, you have a very, very favorable logistics and supply chain world, you have very favorable laws regarding the extraction and processing of metallics and minerals and rare earths. And so this problem you get is people say, well, Palmer, what can we do to catch up with China? And you say, well, we need way more energy, and we're going to need to probably burn
Is this his real name?
a lot more fossil fuels, and we're probably going to need to relax labor laws. They say, no, I don't want to do any of that. I want to catch up with China, but I don't want to do any of the things that they're doing to lead. I say, well, you have to make a choice at some point. It's not really usually possible to say, I want to win, but I'm not willing to do anything to do that. It's just not how the world works.
Damn. So, anyways, this is where we are, my friends. We've reached fun times. We had relaxed labor laws. We had, I don't know, 10 months of crypto just complete death. followed by 3 months of war every day. And then we stopped talking about war and we started talking about memory stocks every day. We got pretty locked in on memory stocks. That's all we talked about for like, yeah, we still have war, but not as the daily topic. We started talking about stocks every day for like 4 months. There were some fun trades that were made there. We got locked in on TradFi. So we understand geopolitics now. We understand TradFi. And then memory and TradFi, I think is going to be slow for the rest of the summer. I really do. Not that I am like basing them off of much other than I think a lot of times after these crazy runs, then deleveraging, things just kind of chop. It feels like it wants to chop around a little bit. So I think things are relatively slow there. Followed by some pocket of excitement, I think, again, in crypto. And so I still, like I said this when I left, that I felt like it was going to be a boring week, time to be patient. I still kind of think it is time to be patient. And so the way that I'm playing things right now and plan to play things is cool, new, novel thing, I'm in every time. Cool, new, novel thing, I'm in. That's how I was with FWA. That's how I should have been, I guess, with Stonk Broker. I don't fully understand. Founder wants to come on, by the way. I might bring him on tomorrow for like a call-in. I guess I should have just did it with that. But the way that I'm playing, at least as it relates to crypto, is cool new thing. I am in. And I really like Pump Fun. As I'm playing stocks, I'm doing absolutely nothing. And if things started to get volatile as fuck again and started to move, I would be down to buy some memory on the way up. But I kind of think memory is saying it wants to be quiet for a little while here. We'll see. So what Onchain innovation do you see besides stock pair coins and hooks? Nothing. But I see stock pair coins and hooks. I see people trying stuff for the first time in a long time. And the people trying stuff getting rewarded. And the people trying stuff getting rewarded on the buyer side and the dev side. Which hasn't happened for a long time. That's a powerful loop, man. It really is a powerful loop. I mean, how many guys are looking at what Adam did and thinking to themselves, fuck, he made how much? Fuck, he made how much did he make? And so I think you got to start with trying stuff. And we have to see if we can break some ceilings. That's what really we have to get. You got to see if you can break some ceilings. Like, how high can these things go? If they can't go any higher than this, then probably bored for a little while. But if Pump continues to make $1.9 million a day, you do think to yourself, okay, there's some money that's coming from somewhere. And if you can't identify it on Twitter, then it means it's coming from somewhere else, which would mean yeah, that would get exciting. So I think that we're really early, like we're early, late. I think we're early. And you're not even early late until things start like really going. And so we're going to see. I'm not here to call the bottom, but I am here to tell you like what I saw over my break was that I don't think we're very far from things getting crazy again. And I think that this celebrity trader thing is in full force. And I don't know, you start to just feel things like have a chance again. Things have a chance again. I love having a chance. Telling you, man, I spent W First Stream back. Thanks, Luke. I spent so much time feeling like we had no chance. I was pretty miserable, man, after 10-10. I'm like, what are we gonna fucking do now? And then you sit back and you think to yourself, okay, 10-10, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 10-10 was 10 months ago, bro. My interview with CZ was 10 months ago. Honestly, this stream got me here from 10-10 LO. It got me too, bro. What's next for Counterparty? Domination, brother. Stream every day and getting fucking rich. Domination. More interviews, more call-ins, better shows, more segments. Domination. Playing out our thesis, bro. Yeah, this stream got me here from 1010 as well, by the way. I would have been done. I was cooked. I was like, I don't even know what to do with myself. More interviews. I like the, by the way, I really like the second stream interview thing. I really like doing a second stream to do interviews so we can do our normal show, the normal show. Keep the main thing the main thing. Main show with call-ins. And then interviews later. I like. Spicy Meatball, what's good? I like the call-ins thing as well. I'm gonna have a couple people call in tomorrow. Maybe the stockbroker founder and maybe Jack Surveiller, who doesn't know that I'm DMing him. Or that I'm saying he's gonna come on. He does not know that, but I'm gonna just assume he's gonna say yes. The guy's on a sun. Jack Surveiller's on a sun right now. I like the call-in idea for sure. And yeah, live interview, like live actual interviews are pretty boring, I think. But if you want the guest, you can join just for the interview. That's a movie. There's also a lot we got to catch up on as it relates to like meta, as it relates to DeepMind, as there's like a lot of like main market stuff. See, Alex, there's a lot of main market stuff we got to cover, but I had to do just the catch up first. Like I had to do it. Just come here and just get bullish, get excited again. Feels good to be like relatively excited. I'm not gonna lie. Also, Enes Kanter, the WNBA draft. Thoughts? Enes Kanter against Caitlin Clark in the post. Nuts. Completely nuts. Is it like a joke? Dude, I don't know. It feels kind of serious. Chat. It feels good to be back, man. No, he's not transitioning, but he's declaring. Maybe he's transitioning. I don't think so. No, I think he just declared for the draft. I don't think he transitioned. Man, it does feel good to be back. I enjoyed the time off, but I missed the morning stream. I really do. Star Guy 10. I'm tan as fuck, by the way. Let me turn the window down. I'm tan as fuck. Look. How am I not tan? Bro, I'm tan as fuck. Look, how is this not tan? Bro, just turned the lights off. You got sunscreen, Max? I did go parasailing. I did. It was scary. It actually was kind of uneventful. I'm like I'm pretty terrified of heights. Like my whole life. I'm really, really, really scared of heights. And White Walker. I'm scared of heights. Like scared as fuck of heights. And I was like, fuck it. Let's just do it. Parasailing. Why not? And it was kind of uneventful. Like it was kind of like whatever, honestly, on the parasailing thing. I don't know, like how much did it cost? Oh, I actually have a story for you real quick. So he told me, so okay, it cost like, I don't know, it cost $80 maybe. And we go parasailing. I'm talking to the guy. I brought my cousins with me. And I'm talking to the guy, and he tells me that it's the worst year of tourism or like revenue for them in a long time, and that the last 3 years have been awful. The last 3 in America, on the East Coast, in Outer Banks, North Carolina. Outer Banks, North Carolina is where he went. I'll just tell you where I went. Outer Banks, North Carolina. He said it's the worst year that they've had in a long time, and that the last 3 have been down only. Down only. And I asked him why, and they don't know. And he's like, man, I think people are just like traveling less. And then I'm going around to like our spots that are normally packed. And I'm like, man, there's nobody here at all. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. The bagel place is like, the line would take 30 minutes. It's now like 10. The smoothie place would take an hour. It's like 30. There's no one parasailing. Like, no, is no one, I don't know. No one's traveling. And then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man. So I was having this conversation with my dad. And I was like, dude, I think like just everyone is struggling. Like nobody has any money. And he was like, or it came up like, okay, but like stock market's at all-time highs. And my thesis was basically, if you are over 40 and you've ever been able to buy a house, you are up. If you have ever bought a house, been able to buy a house, you're super up because you've just had 10, 20 years of just like up only price appreciation. House worth $1 million, $1.5 million, 500. You're green. You're good. If you have bought a house ever, you're good. So if you're like 40 up, you are great. Everybody else, I think, is really struggling. Low key. I think people are struggling. It's K-shape. Everybody else has K-shape. The boomers are chilling because they bought houses. And houses have gone up only. But if you didn't buy a house, life is tough. His vacation, let's see, like his tourism spend year over year, up or down. Give me last 3 to 4 years. Like, man, I went to a bagel place. And I bought 4 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. 4 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. 4 sandwiches for $70. $70 on 4 bacon, egg, and cheese. And I'm like, man, really? And so I think that this is a little bit like misleading here. Because it's like it's up in like dollar spend, but it's the dollar number is like not real. What's like a better way to ask it this? The dollar number is like not really real. What's a better way? Like, rather than dollar spend, don't want inflation to impact the metrics. It's fucking up. Let me refresh it. Oh, man, $70, bro. It's down 5%. 30% of travelers said they're reducing the number of upcoming trips versus 26% a year earlier. It's weird. Like, it's down, but it's... okay. I would use annual leisure trips per American / passenger trips per capita. Yeah, okay. Okay, use it. It's got to be down. You have 90 tabs open. What are you running? 32 gigabytes of RAM? It might be more. I don't believe this, man. We gotta find a way, a better metric to like narrative bait us. Okay, how about this? What about American credit card debt. Wow. Huh. Yeah. I don't know what I need some narrative to fit on this. Maybe we could do a segment on this tomorrow. I don't know what our narrative is, but it feels. Yeah, I don't know. Is everyone traveling or is no one traveling? Like, I don't really know. I don't know, but fuck, I don't know. Nobody's saving. Yeah, that's true. What if it was like, but also I know the Outer Banks isn't like a destination spot. It's like a family like town. It's not really like you're not like the show did fall off, but the show. Yeah, but the show. One guy I know is like, I don't have to pay my rent because of vacation every 3 months. Let me chat. Are you guys traveling more or less? You and your circle, your friend circle, more or less than like, I don't know. Than what? I don't even know. Just more or less. I mean, it's hard to argue this, right? How do you fight this? Less but more spend per trip. How do you argue with this? This is good data right here. My boy's having kids and shit, so less. Now I travel to my desk. Yeah. I already went everywhere. I've been doing 6 months in the last 2 years. Jesus. I only watch your streams and never go out movie. What do you do the rest of the day? Yeah. I physically felt it being empty. I'm going around and like, where is everybody? But then again, it's the Outer Banks. It's not like watch older streams. It isn't like, how does it feel to be rich on what? It isn't what am I rich on? Oh, you know what else he was telling me? He was telling me that oil, gas, diesel is so expensive. And that they are charging the same amount for parasailing as they were 20 years ago, and the oil price is like way more expensive. But I've been struggling with my ability to ideate/formulate investment theses. What's things I can do to get better at, or as well as origination of these ideas. If you trade something, find stuff you like or think is interesting, trade it, journal why you traded it. See what works, see what doesn't work. And then start to pattern match. Type of stuff that you like, type of stuff you like that goes up, type of stuff you like that goes down. And start to match. Like, where do you bank? Where do you lose? Where do you leak? Where do you make money? I went to see the Spider-Man. The tickets were almost sold out online, but when we got to the theater, it was fucking empty. That's just me juicing the AMC books, brother. Don't worry. I'm just juicing earnings for next quarter for AMC. You gotta talk about the Y'all Street and the Texas Stock Exchange. What the fuck is that? You guys miss me, man. You guys really did miss me, huh? That's awesome. Y'all Street and the Texas Stock Exchange. What the fuck is that? A little bit. What does that mean? Y'all Street and Texas Stock Exchange. Do you not? You've seen Zach has seen the new case? I did. Whoa. The 24-hour exchange I got in Texas. What? Do you not? Add that. Add Y'all Street. That's such a sick name. Y'all Street and private equity guys dating models. No one else does daily streams. I know. We just grind, bro. We really do just grind. YouTube gang missed me too. I know they did over there. They don't like to say it, but I know they fucking did. Those little. All right, one more question. Chat, what do you use as your on-chain trading platform? That's my last question. Everybody answer right now. Go, go, go. On-chain trading platform, what do you use? DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama. Llama Swap is decent. I didn't even know that existed. Okay, X. Wow. Polymarket. Nice. I should have known. We're trading on Dex Screener. Interesting. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Well, guys, look. I'm back. We have a lot I need to catch up on. We have a lot we need to go through, and this is going to be a absolutely electric week of stream. I missed you. I really did miss you. It's good to be back. And let's go, man. I'm out. I'm back in the stream. I'll see you tomorrow. If you're new here, you're new here. I'm live every day at 8:30 a.m. EST. Every morning. I missed you. I love you. I didn't cover half what I wanted to, but we'll get there. I'm optimistic. I'm excited. At least for the first time in a long time, there's things happening. And I will catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a great rest of your day. Love you, motherfuckers. Peace.